Crawford is a fight fan, and he's a fight fan's fighter.
The Ennis Express is a runaway train.
Ain't no pressure when you built for this.
Man down, round one. The truth hurts.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated super flyweight from San Antonio, Texas, Jesse Bam Rodriguez! The universally recognized undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney!
Question Deontay Wilder's power. The proof is in the banana pudding as he just turned the lights out.
Cool boy Steph Stephen Fulton Jr.
The Ennis Express is a runaway train.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, here is the skill, the highly regarded Devin the Dream Haney.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another episode. We got the Cookout tonight. Hey, man, we got a special episode. Special request, right? Normally, y'all know we do a lot of boxing talk over here, but tonight, man, we will be doing some 80s and 90s hip-hop culture. Shout out to my brother All Positive. You know what I'm saying? He gave me this idea. He said he wanted to rock. He wanted to rap with Crush. We know that the legend Crush, former backup or former dancer in the hip-hop community. You know what I'm saying? We had a heck of a show with him, and him giving us the insights of kind of the days back then on how he how things used to rock and how he used to rock. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm looking forward to the conversation. I ain't gonna be talking too much tonight. I'm gonna let them do most of the talking, and I like to listen and be educated. You know what I'm saying? So tonight, this is me providing a platform. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna rock. I'm gonna listen. And man, I'm excited. Y'all know how I get, man. So first things first, as always, man, we gotta we always drop the link early because we get started late. Y'all know what it is. And man, let me shout out the family real quick. We got my brother Piro in the building. Shout out to Piro, man. Much love, my brother. Much love. My sister is in the building. Quee. Shout out to Quee, man. Much love to you, Quee. We got the OG, man, Harrison Brooks in the building. Shout out to you, sir. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show. We got the legend in the building. One of the individual who will be getting it started off with me tonight, man. We got the legend. We got Crush in the building. Shout out to my brother Crush, man. Let's see who else we got. We got my uncle in the building, man. Uncle EJ, Electro J is in the building. Shout out to Uncle EJ, man. Much love, Uncle. I got my brother, man, Brian Corbett in the building. Shout out to Brian, man. Much love to you, brother. Much love. K Savoy, damn it, man, is in the building. Shout out to my brother K Savoy, man. We're gonna get it started shortly. First things first. I want to kind of put the format out here on how things are gonna rock and how they'll go in this situation tonight, man. My brother All Positive, or how we got to this show right here, how the idea came about. My brother All Positive, man, we were on the panel together, and he made the comment. He said, "Hey, Doug, man, when you gonna let me get that combo with Crush, man, about the hip hop, the 80s and 90s hip hop culture, man? I definitely want to talk to him about it." And I said, "Hey, I'm down for it. I'm all the way down for it. I would love to hear y'all rap on that. You know what I'm saying?" I hit him up. I hit Crush up. They both agreed to it. So I said, shit, it's a Tuesday. We will be getting back to rocking with Right Side. We will start our interviews back after the TKO debate series gets done. But I said, this would normally be a day that I do interviews. And so instead of doing an interview, man, we're going to just open the panel up to anybody who want to come up, who have anything they want to discuss as far as the hip hop culture goes back in the day. And I mean, anything that people want to rock on, man, because like I said, it's educational for me. I'm an 88 baby. And so, I grew up in the era, but I didn't always get a chance to know what the things going on behind the scenes. And I think a lot of the individual, man, y'all come and y'all add such spice to the conversation. I really appreciate it and I enjoy it. And so, that's what we're gonna do tonight. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Finesse, in the building. Shout out to you, Mr. Finesse. Welcome to the show tonight. And so I wanted to get it started like this, though. And once again, anybody is welcome. When we talk hip-hop culture, we really have to take a step back because the culture that it is today, right? What hip-hop is today, quote-unquote rap, isn't what it used to be, isn't what it started off with, right? And so even then, when we talk, like when I talked to the OG Crush, and he spoke on him being a dancer back in the day, it wasn't all this, in a lot of the stuff that we hear today, it's a bunch of gun violence, shooting, but and shout out to the Kings of Comedy. You remember Cedric did tell us, he said it the best. He said, "Man, people they want to shoot these days. Back in my day, what we used to do, they used to have dance battles." And I want to touch on some of the dance battles that used to go on. I know Crush, he touched on some of the guys that he used to battle and the moves they used to perform, those type of things. Shout out to my brother Gertz in the building. Salute Gertz, much love to you, brother. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button as well when y'all get in the building. Smash on the like button. You know what I'm saying? And but just that the culture that things are today is totally different from what they used to be back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And this is just one of them times where we really need to reflect on it. We need to give the credit that was due there. And I want to hear the individual kind of chop it up and go into the different individuals. They remember who your favorite artist was coming up. What do you really remember about the culture back then? And like I said, because me being the age that I am, I had some of those conversations, you know what I'm saying? Got to check out some of the music, but at the same time, like I said, Crush, it was very educational to me when I was rocking with Crush. So how we'll do it, man, when I get all positive up here, when Crush gets up here, and anybody else is welcome. It'll be kind of interview format to some degree. I ask questions, and then I'm gonna just kind of let them rock and teach. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, I'm sure we'll have a great episode. Shout out to my brother Bonton South D-Town in the building. My brother said the Beastie Boys. Look at them. Hold on, let me mark that right there. Shout out to the OG Mike Biggs, man. Me and Mike, we was rocking. The other day we was over there rocking on some Call of Duty, man. Shout out to Mike Biggs, always doing showing me much love. Shout out to DP Rocker as well, man. The OG, man, much love, DP, much love. He said he jumping on in a minute to jump up to be a part of that conversation. I'm excited about it. Hold on. What's that? Oh, yeah. Look at my BFTV wounds. What happened? Bro, I mean, Harrison, did you make it over to BF? Did you make it over there and jump up there with him today? I ain't get a chance to catch my brother whole show, so I have to definitely go back and catch it. Shout out to D Free in the building as well. Now, when you bring up when we talk about the Beastie Boys, right? That's a group that to some degree, and hold on, woodshed. Took you behind the woodshed and put it on you, huh? I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad. That's how you learn, though. That's how you learn. And I want to pull up. Let me go ahead and I have some things I want to pull up and talk about as well. Hold on. Let me go. Y'all smash the like button. Y'all make sure y'all smash on the like button. Wrong one. I don't know if you get strikes. See, I'll be worried about doing it because I might get a strike for playing the wrong thing on here. So I'll wait for it. I'll wait first before we do it. Also, man, I wanted the family opinion on some of the. Oh, I'm getting a call. Give me 1 second. D-Free, I see you in the back. Give me 1 second, D-Free, I see you. All right, there ain't nobody. D-Free, what's up, bro? Welcome to the panel, my brother. How you feeling? What's going on, D-Free?
Nothing much, man. I appreciate you having me up here. I'm up here doing a little bit of studying for my debate on Thursday. But I said, let me come up here and chop it up with Doug Whiteside on these 80s and 90s hip-hop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, you know what it is. Shout out to my brother All Positive in the building as well, man. Real quick, D-Free, I wanted to ask you, So 80s, 90s, back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what year you were born, that type of thing, but what's your biggest memory? Shout out to Cassandra in the building, the Queen Cassandra. Much love. Much love. And you are always invited to the cookout. You know what it is. D Free Man, break it down. What's your favorite? Who was your favorite artist back in the day? Man, talk to me. What do you remember about the culture?
Well, my favorite artist originally was Run DMC, and that was because of family reasons. One youngest cousin was married into my family, so I became close with Run DMC, and but I also like LL. I was a Kumo D fan, and I also like Big Daddy Kane. Those was my three top hip hop artists back in the 80s and the early 90s.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. All positive. Welcome to the show, my brother. I gave you kudos earlier. We wouldn't be doing this show if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, 10:55 on the dot, man.
Hey, man, break it down. Talk to me, man. You heard some of D Free's favorites?
Yeah, I heard D Free, man. Look, and those are some good choices, man, because my older cousins, I was born in 77. But my older cousins, they're like 6 years older than me. And my early influences, I wasn't a real big fan of Run DMC, but I started to appreciate them more. I was more a Houdini fan. I like Houdini a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But really, my first favorite group of all time was UTFO. That was the first rap song I ever learned, Roxanne, when it came out. And they used to play these all the time, and you know, say there was no UMTV raps, and back when they came out, we and black hip hop wasn't on MTV, so we had BET, and my cousins recorded tapes and bring them out to where we lived at because they didn't have cable in our area. So and that was back at the time you only could hear hip hop on the radio maybe on a Saturday. That's it, like on a Saturday night. Like I said, we didn't have all day, you know what I'm saying? But and also my introduction to hip hop was the summer '84. Actually, 39 years ago. My cousins, they took me to see my three cousins. We went to go see Breaking at the Plaza Cinema, and in the summer '84, and that theater's no longer with us. And they tore it down. And yeah, man, I remember everything about that. It's like 39 years ago. I can remember everything like it was yesterday.
Right. Hey, real quick, D Free, you got a little. I don't know. You got some type of feedback on you, so
yeah, that's my bag on PlayStation.
Okay.
Let me move it to another room.
Man, we got my brother Harrison Brooks in the building. Shout out to you. You went over and got taken behind the wood. Shit, it happened to the best of us. I ain't mad at you, my brother. Man,
I was appreciative. I ain't gonna say it was fun, but I'm appreciative.
Hey, growth. Sometimes growth is painful, man. Sometimes it's painful.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey,
I had the nerve to disagree.
Stand on your squad.
Oh yeah, I tried to, definitely. He let me know what was going on though. He got that inside info. He let me know what's going on. Well, not even inside info. He got that info, so he let me know what was going on. Anyway, I'm jealous of all y'all brothers. And I'm gonna tell you why I come from a unique situation in the hip hop world. In that I was born in '79, but I'm from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We did not have a radio station back then.
Ooh.
Like I had to go to, I forget what the store was at the time, but I had to go there, and I think I stole my first single of LL Cool J radio. Like, and when my dad found it, it was on some what the heck is this type stuff. Like, we didn't have that around here. It was foreign. We had rock. What was it? Pop rock, or rock was still the popular thing around here. So like my first memory of hip hop was a friend of mine coming over who had seen a Jay-Z video and knew that MTV was gonna have a show on at a certain time and they were gonna play I'm Fresher Than the Next Chick. No, yeah, that one. Yes. And that was my first introduction, and my mouth was wide open for like that entire video. And I was like, wow, really? I didn't know this was out there. And I've been a Jay fan ever since. So like I've been having to work backwards from that point to try to get the appreciation that the other two gentlemen were talking about for people like LL and DMC and Big Daddy Kane. It's been a weird experience having to work backwards to get that appreciation.
I ain't mad at it. And it's interesting. You know, I'm a huge Jay fan as well, and so it's Jay was at the kind of the end of that era, you know, or not the end of the era. How I want to put it. He came later on after some of the other greats had already been there. You know what I'm saying? And so this is why we put the panel together like we're doing, because I'm like you, Harrison. I need more education on the situation. You feel me? Working backwards. So, DP, man, welcome to the show, bro.
Can you see that?
What's happening, fellas?
Nah, we can't see it.
Oh.
I can't quite see it.
See that right there? You know what that is?
What is that? It look a CD, but
that's the original pressing of Reasonable Doubt. The original got the 2 dots over the Y. That's with the gun art. They don't sell that no more. You had to get that in '96.
I ain't mad at it. Hey, you know, Reasonable Doubt, that's my favorite J album too. So,
oh, definitely.
DP, man, welcome to the show, man. What's your early memories of hip hop, bro?
Shit, y'all talking to the right one. Shit, I'm gonna tell you that right now. I came in the game right at the golden era, bro. You know, I was a teenager and I saw the shit move. I saw the game change. Like, I saw it went from, you know, the pop era or the Run DMC era to the MCs. The lyrics, you know, my favorite artist of all time, and anybody will tell you this, was Rakim.
Almost definitely.
That man single-handedly changed the game of hip-hop and made other rappers step their bars up till this day. That's why we got the Jay-Z, the Nas's, and all them guys from that man right there. Anybody who follow me on IG, they'll tell you. Yeah, I seen the whole era change. I remember the Fresh Fest. I remember all that era. I remember the UTFO, the dancing era, the you know, the conscious hip hop rap, the KRS-Ones, the Poor Righteous Teachers, the, you know, X-Clans, all of that. I seen the game change to the South. I seen when Death Row came in and the NWA era, and still a fan of it to this day. So me and OG Crush do the show, the Cold Crush Lounge, with my homie BC, you know, and we talk about all that shit. How we seen the South take over. How we seen it. So yeah, I love that shit, man. I love it. And it wouldn't have started. It actually was a decade before me with the whole Melly Mel era, the Grandmaster Flash, the Grandmaster Caz, you know, the Cool Herc era, them days. So that was my earliest days of hip hop, bro.
I ain't mad at it. Swab, welcome to the panel, my brother. You know, nothing but love and respect as always, man. What's your earliest memories of hip hop, bro?
Man, first I had to say, as soon as I seen the title, I was like, no, he did. No, he didn't. No, he didn't do this. Man, hey, much love. I mean, for me, man, I'm an 84 baby. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I grew up listening. First time I heard hip hop was Cool Mo D. Then it went to 69 Boys. And then it went to you know, No Limit had they run. But you know, I mean, but my dude was always Slick Rick. I mean, the first time I heard Slick Rick album and the first time I heard him spit, man, it was just like he flowed with the beat so smooth. That's always been my favorite, one of my favorite rappers. So, but I mean, I didn't see it go through the ages. And then it went to the, you know, New York always held it down. South took it over for, you know, but I can't say the South took it, you know, because but I mean that's hard. But man, my earliest memories of hip hop, just to go back to that, man, to that question, man, was Slick Rick, and Cool Mo D, and Rakim. That's what I remember. That's the first time I started loving hip hop, man.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad. Hey, the panel is open now, and everybody get your bars off. I just want to say it's funny.
Yeah.
The groups back then, you know what I'm saying, the Public Enemies, the Run DMCs. I seen somebody had Salt and Pepper in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
Those groups and the swag that they came with, the dress that they came with. You know what I'm saying? The music. It was just. even me being young, I remember riding in the car with my mom's, you know what I'm saying, hearing some of these songs and me being a kid, like, what is this? You know, it's rocking. And so, man, I just feel like, and the other thing I want to say, I got to get my brother inside the square circle. I got to let him get his bars off open and then it's back open. But the other thing, when the change happened, right, from hip hop to rap, there was, it seemed like there became a little more of a disconnect, in my opinion, from quote unquote rappers and real hip hop artists. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to hear y'all speak on the difference between the rap culture and the hip hop culture. But before I do that, man, King Judah, welcome to the panel, my brother. Hey, get your bars off. You know, it's nothing but love and respect. And y'all always welcome over here. Talk to me, bro.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, man. I'm glad I just caught you, bro. Look, I wanted to get my bars off. I hear everybody giving their earliest experience with hip hop. I just wanted to make sure I can tell y'all mine. So I'm born in '88, right? So we always had hip hop playing in the house. My earliest memories of hip hop, I'm gonna just name, some of the artists. Of course, Tupac, Biggie, Snoop, Ice Cube. California was running the game when I was coming up. It was all about Cali. So it was a lot of them Cali guys, bro. But I did get to hear later on in the 90s, I started to hear people like DMX, Jay-Z, Nas, Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to tell y'all, bro, like, honestly, because I don't know if we comparing the 80s to the 90s, and I'm not disrespecting the older guys, and the guys who came before everybody else and started out. But unequivocally, bro, the 90s is the best era of music, period, not just hip hop. But the 90s, man, the 90s was killing it, bro. I still listen to 90s music to this day. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my earliest memories. I do need to go back, probably listen to the older guys, but like I said, I'm an 88 baby, and I started off with 90s hip hop.
Hey, I'm an 88 baby too, so hey, shout out to you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, back over to the panel, man. The difference between rap and hip hop. What's the difference in y'all opinion?
I think that the difference is like hip hop is more of a cultural thing. Like, you can go to a hip hop show and not see any rappers because you got b-boys, you can have tagging, you can have the DJ. But if you go to these concerts now, none of that stuff exists but the rapper now. It's like you don't see a DJ at Drake shows. You don't see any b-boys dancing at these shows. You know what I'm saying? There's no, like, if you were looking at some of these concerts today, and I'm not knocking the newer guys, the rappers, whatever. I know a lot of young people. I'm not knocking it, but if you would look at it on mute, you wouldn't even know it was a hip hop show. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't really tell the difference between that and anything else is out right now. But back in the day, if you looked at something on mute, like a hip hop performance on mute, you knew it was a hip hop show. You saw the DJ getting busy. You saw the b-boys getting busy. You saw the dress code. Like, we don't even dress like hip hoppers no more, man. Like, it's crazy, man. But. And it's funny, my man mentioned Rakim earlier. Like, yo, still to this day, I still wear my haircut like Rakim. That used to be my my avatar picture, but I'm using Google Chrome now. I got to figure out how to put it back there though. But yeah, I still rock the part on the left side of my head, from the front to the back with the star in the back, like Rakim. I still, at my age now, I'm still rocking that in 2023. You know what I'm saying? Still wearing tracksuits and African medallions. I'm like, look, man, I'm just not into all the new stuff, new fashion. All I listen to is like 80s, 90s hip hop, man. Daily.
Hey, question to the panel, man. Difference between, we heard what All Positive said. Anybody else got anything on that? The difference between rap and hip hop right now?
I want to give my go.
I'm sorry.
What I think the difference is, I think hip hop is more of a message, right? Hip hop was, like you said, was culture. Like somebody said, cultural. It's a message that people wanted to spit to the whole, of the culture as a whole, giving a message that can, I guess, move it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? People who rap hip hop or whatever, they trying to convey a message at the end of the day. I think rap was more about pride. That's when people started to talk about what they have and what you don't have. Then you know that they harder than you and you not hard as them, and my clique go harder than your clique. I think that's the difference between rap and hip hop. Is more of a message. Rap is more of ego. It comes from ego.
Hey, the panel is open. Anybody can respond. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in there, man. Like you said, man, I'm an 84 baby, man. But I was raised, by cats, that was older than me. So I'm gonna say this, man. At the beginning, everybody couldn't rap, and then in order to rap, man, you had to tell a story. Like you had to either get the people jumping out they seats, or you had to get people thinking. You know, that's where the Kid and Play came in. That's where, you know, it was fun, man. It brought the whole neighborhood together. But then when it came to everybody kind of catching on to what hip hop was, hip hop kind of got saturated, and that's when it turned to that other shit. You know, I remember at first it was about having fun. It was about bringing people together, but then it turned on to some drug shit. You know, it turned on to some trapping shit. It turned on to some other shit, and the neighborhood changed. You know what I mean? I remember seeing it as a kid. So I'm gonna say this, man. The difference was that hip hop started to bring the people together. Hip hop started like, cause I used to rap, and I started seeing the difference. So what I'm gonna say is, like, for me, I think when everybody felt like they could do it, that's when it got saturated, and then you start getting into this other shit, and then further and further along, it got further away from bringing people together. It more so separated the community, and I was a big part of that. Hell, I done sold drugs. I done been out there and doing all that shit. So I ain't gonna act like I'm just like holier than thou. Never would do that. But hip hop kind of, it got saturated, man, and a lot of niggas lost their lives for where it went. That's how I feel about it.
I'm a piggyback off of what All Positive said. Hip hop is more of a culture. It's the way you wear your clothes. It's the way you talk. It's the way you carry yourself. It's a style. That's what hip hop is. And when you're talking about rapping, it's basically you telling a story. It's talking about what's going on in the community. It's an art form when it comes to rapping. Hip hop is just it's a style, but when it comes to rapping, that's an art form. You gotta be able to know how to rap. You gotta be able to know how to put words together to make people want to listen. Like Irv B said it. Rakim said it best. How can I move the crowd? First of all, ain't no mistakes allowed. You got to be able to know how to put stuff together. That's rapping. But when you go to hip hop, it's how you carry yourself. It's how you talk. It's how you look. It's a culture. And we see hip hop move over into the NBA, into the NFL, in different sport events and different TV events. That's what hip hop is. But when you come to rapping, that's a style. That's an art form. You got to know how to rap. Anybody can't just rap. People can get up there and talk, but it ain't rapping. It's talking. Rap is an art form to it. So that's how I look at it.
DP, I put you on mute. You had a little background noise. I know you're in the gym, so it sounded like you were racking your weights. No, I agree with a lot of what y'all are saying. It's interesting though to me. I feel like I agree with a lot of it. I think hip hop or rap became somewhat of a subset of hip hop, if that makes sense. Rappers came from that hip hop culture, and I guess back then, correct me if I'm wrong, All Positive, but a lot of the rappers at that time, you might have known them as MCs or something like that, and they were able to not, but it was more entertainment, right? Where rap, it is entertainment, but at the same time, it goes into word or wordplay, that type of thing. Whereas, man, you could have the most basic rap back in the day, and you still be a great hip hop artist. You know what I'm saying? Because it incorporated the dance along with it. It incorporated having a DJ, somebody really spinning their tracks for you. You know what I'm saying? I remember watching shows where you would have somebody who was rapping at the time, but then you might have the individual who's just on the turntables, you know what I'm saying? He might get a good 25 minutes just to do his thing, you know what I'm saying, to showcase his skill set. And how, even though he may not say nothing, he still had a different skill set. So I think hip-hop incorporated so many other things, including the lyricism as well. But rap kind of took away from hip-hop, in my opinion. When I say it took away from it as far as, how do I want to put it?
I know what you're saying.
I don't want to say it took away. It took a piece of it and made just that piece popular versus incorporating everything that goes with hip hop, the dance and the storytelling, the different things. I see my brother Bonton, he brought up Slick Rick. Slick Rick, if you really listen, he ain't just a crazy lyricist, but at the same time, the storytelling and the way he put his bars together, it made you entertain, man. Welcome to the panel. We got my brother Rick in the building, straight out of the south side of Houston, no affiliation with Jay Prince. Y'all know what it is. Rick, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel, my brother. You know it ain't nothing but love and respect. Man, give me your earliest memories of hip hop for you, bro.
Oh wow, man. Right side, what's up with it? You, everybody on the panel, all the folk in the chat. Dog, I go back to 1979 with this shit, cuz. Hell, the Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight. Dude,
one of my favorites.
Hell. Yeah, man, Grandmaster Flash, the Furious Five, the Message. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. Yeah, even Curtis Blow. We playing basketball. Dude. Hey man, dog, Public Enemy, X-Clan. Dude, the names don't stop from like 85 on up, man. And you know I gotta represent Houston. The Ghetto Boys started kicking it around 88, 89. So, dude, hey man, I'm a music man. When it come to shit, I don't care if it's R&B, reggae, hip hop, rap. Hey man, I love melodies. You know, I'm real big on music, dog.
Does anybody know what the term MC means?
Yeah, Master Ceremony.
Ceremonies.
Come on, man.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Wanted to get. I'm sorry.
The sad thing is that, as I brought up earlier, the DJ used to be the most important thing in hip hop. If you look at a lot of groups like duos back in the day, it was cool. It was rarely you had a rapper's name first, but you know you like Scoochie Radish, but it was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Eric B and Rakim. It was always about the DJ because the DJ is the most important thing in hip hop, and one of the biggest lies that's been spread about hip hop history, and this is a lie. Like, I don't know who started. They said when kids in New York couldn't afford to buy instruments, they started DJing. That is a lie, man. Do you know how much money it takes to be a DJ? You know what I'm saying? You got to buy a set of turntables. You got to buy a mixer. You got to buy a speaker system. You got to buy cartridges, and you had to buy records and doubles of most records. I'm like, yo. And it never ends because you always got to buy the latest music that comes out. It was before the MP3s and the internet. You had to always buy 2 copies of your record just in case you want to get busy at the shows. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got all this vinyl now. There's like 7,000 records accumulated from my teenage years up to now. But you know, the DJ
did you say 7,000?
About roughly 7,000. I only keep like 3,000 in the house. I keep the rest in storage.
That's normal.
Not that many.
That's normal, bro.
Yeah, it's normal. It's not that many.
All right, go ahead.
I feel what he's saying, man. Cause like, I ain't gonna lie, like my dad kept records, man. They used to record. Then that's how I got into record. Like, he ain't lying. Like, that music shit real, man. Like, and when you see how music bring together everybody, man, like, music the dopest shit that ever was invented, man. Period.
Indeed.
Yo, I got a quick question for everybody. I don't mean to get off topic. I know you got a topic for what the whole show about today. I just want real quick. I want to know if does anybody listen to the modern music of today? Like, anybody still listen to the modern music?
Yes, there's some hope.
I can't understand the words, man.
I can't hope. Nah, bro. Nah, there's some hopes.
I can't know it. Good guys, but I just don't know who they are. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. All of my kids ask me, why do I listen to this old music? I don't listen to none of the music nowadays. Everything that I play in my car is either from the 90s or the late 80s. I listen to Tupac, I listen to Biggie, I listen to the Locks, I listen to DMX, I listen to Redman, I listen to nothing but people from the late 80s, early 90s. I don't listen to none of that new stuff because I can't really understand what they're talking about, and I can't relate to what they're talking about. I gotta listen to something that I can relate to. If I, like when Tupac was talking, that's why I always had Tupac over Biggie because I can relate to everything Tupac was saying. Biggie, it was more so about robbing and doing the stuff that he was doing. I couldn't relate to that because I didn't grow up like that. I grew up more like Tupac grew up, and so what he was talking about, I can relate to it. So if I can't relate to it, I can't listen to it. I still listen to old R&B from back in the early '90s in the late '80s. I listen to those R&B songs. I don't really listen to too many R&B nowadays. I listen to a lot of stuff from back when I was coming up because it had more meaning. The stuff that they talk about now, it don't really have meaning to it.
I think
Yeah, hey, I'm with you there. I'm with you there, brother. And I'm glad you brought up the Tupac and Biggie comparison. So, to most people, they 1 and 2, right? And I like them both equally for different reasons. Like I think lyrically, bro, Biggie one of the best lyricists ever. Like I'm talking about cross eras, like across any era, Biggie one of the best lyricists ever to me. I think Tupac wasn't as good lyrically to me, but like you said, bro, Tupac made music that you can feel. That's why most people put Tupac 1. It's just because Tupac was so relatable. Bro, like when Tupac was rapping, you didn't feel like that was just some stranger or a rapper that was rapping. Tupac made you feel like you knew him. You know what I'm saying? When Tupac rap, you feel like your homeboy on the track, like you listen to your homeboy. So that's kind of how I felt about them too. I think Biggie was more lyrical, but I think Tupac was more relatable, and he told stories a little bit better than Biggie, and he made music that you can feel.
Yeah, hey, peace everybody. Now I got to represent for Cool G Rap. We got to represent for Karis One and Rakim. We're talking about the old dude. You said Biggie and fucking Tupac. Are you high? The fuck? Chuck D.
Coogee Rap was a problem. Coogee Rap was a problem.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yes, Kane was a problem.
Well, y'all
Kane
know
definitely was a problem.
So I can only go off the rap.
Kane's still a problem.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying Biggie and Pop was number 1 and number 2. I was just saying those are the people that I like to listen to majority of the time because I like their music. I ain't saying that they was number 1 and number 2.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, you're saying that most people have. Now I got you. I'm with you.
Yeah. There's a lot of lyricists out there that's underrated, like Jadakiss. He's underrated. He don't get the publicity that he should get. And Jadakiss can kill just about anybody lyrically wise.
Oh, you know who doesn't get the respect they should get? Lord Finesse. Fucking Big L.
Yeah,
like you want to talk Coogee Rap.
Bad, man.
They're digging in the Crazy Boys. That's who had the even fucking Nice and Smooth has some shit. I mean, they were like unorthodox, but they did their thing. They're fun.
I don't know why the new generation be sleeping on Scarface.
Scarface one of the coldest.
Scarface came through.
Yeah, he's one of the coldest dudes ever.
Scarface came through.
Yeah, to me, he's way better than both of those dudes. Like, he just didn't get the kind of shine that they got. He didn't get the notoriety. But, man, Scarface's discography is nice.
He's definitely got his props.
Shit, I didn't talk to Face personally.
I still bump the Scarface album, The Homie. I still bump his album, The Diary. I bump
The Diary, that's it, yeah.
I bump a lot of Scarface stuff. That's what I said. I listen to stuff from the late '80s, the early '90s. That's the type of music I listen to. I don't really listen to the stuff that's playing nowadays because I can't relate to it. I listen to all of the older cats.
It's like the music changed. It used to be groups, right? Like we were just talking about. If you go back to '79, Sugar Hill Gang, it's groups. Houdini, shit like that. Like there was a couple of it. He said Curtis Blow. Yeah, that's one of it. Like there was some solo artists, but the groups were the thing back then. Fat Boys, Run DMC.
Smoke. Let me ask you this real quick. What's your earliest memory of hip hop?
Oh shit, he said it. Sugar Hill Gang. Right. So the thing that got me into it was because like it was disco, right? Not really like chic, right? That whole like freak and good times and all that shit. I like the disco shit. So when Sugar Hill dropped that fucking that chic beat behind it, I was all for it. I love that song. And I never heard anything like that. Like you take somebody else's song and flip it and do some other shit with it and make a whole nother song out of it. I love the whole like repurposing things, like finding stuff that you already been used and then finding a new use for it. That was like the essence of hip hop, right? So I just love that shit. So yeah, my earliest memories was the Sugar Hill Gang.
I gotta
Rappers
ask.
Delight.
Hey,
Oh, go ahead, Rick.
hey, Judah brought up Pac. Let me throw this in the air, man. Let me throw a little controversy in the air. Check it out, y'all. I'm glad Smoke here too. Check it out. Tupac, man, all he rapped about, not all, but a lot of times he rapped about his demise, you know. And when they kill me, and I see death around the corner, you know, how long will they mourn me? I mean, death, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then he changed his name to Machiavelli. And Machiavelli's supposed to be this guy that faked his death on Friday the 13th. The 7-Day Theory. That was the title of that Machiavelli album. So fast forward to September 6, 1996, in Las Vegas at the corner of Koval and Flamingo, the shots ring guy. Okay, he gets shot. Well, he didn't die until 7 days later, September the 13th, which was a Friday. Look, his song, I Ain't Mad At You, the world debut came out September the 14th, the next day. And he was in heaven. That song ain't got nothing to do with being in heaven. That I ain't mad at you saying, hey, partner, I know you used to be on the block. You done been locked up. You coming home. You ain't in the streets no more. You want to feed your family. I ain't mad at you. Hey, partner, I see you on the block. I see you feeding your family. Do what you got to do. I ain't mad at you. But after he supposedly died on the 13th, the next day, the world premiere of I Ain't Mad At You, he in heaven dapping up, rape, all the dead greats. Can anybody explain that?
Man,
can anybody explain that?
Hold on, real quick, one at a time, real quick. Rick. Oh, go ahead. One at a time, though. Y'all.
Just real fast. I'll be very fast. Tupac was the hardest working corpse in music and entertainment history. That dude dropped more new shit after death, like movies, albums, all that shit, than anybody I've come across. Like usually you get like one more joint after your death. Maybe a movie, maybe an album, maybe both. But he had multiples of all that shit. And then, that whole thing about him going on and living on. But yeah, that dead shit, like that's one of the reasons why I didn't like him. And that's like really is one of the reasons why I didn't like Biggie and Tupac was how much they were just like how self-destructive they were. Like Biggie's first album was Ready to Die, and his second album he was already dead. He was called Life After Death. Like all that death talk, that was never. I was never a big fan of it. But yeah, go ahead. I'm passing.
I got a controversy. Rick, I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. Look.
Quickly, let me just address Smoke quickly about all the post work after Pac's death. I mean, most of these artists, you know, have hundreds of songs, you know, that ain't been released, you know. So when people die and they have multiple songs released, you know, that's kind of iffy, because hell, Prince still got songs that can be released 30 more years from now out of his vault.
Thousands.
So yeah, it varies.
Yeah, but his shit was like still talking about some recent stuff. Like, I mean, he could have been prescient, right? He could have been on top of it and a little bit ahead of the curve. That's not like necessarily unprecedented, but the amount of new albums, like it wasn't just albums, it was movies.
Yeah, look, let me address that.
I'm sorry.
What my brother, when he brought this to us, I know what he was looking for, and I'm gonna give it to him. A lot of y'all don't want to pay attention to it. A lot of y'all like to try to think about conspiracy theories. But I challenge y'all to listen to a documentary on YouTube called Killuminati. Not Illuminati, Kill Illuminati. Put a K in front of it. Look that up. Watch that whole documentary, bro. Because I don't know why a lot of us try to pretend like I don't know if it's not cool to believe in conspiracy theories or what's actually going on in Hollywood, but it's too much evidence in 2023 that these rappers and these artists take oaths. They take oaths to the industry. And when you don't play by the rules, you come up dead. There's too many artists that done been through this. Tupac knew, the reason why Tupac talked about death so much is because just like everybody else, Tupac took an oath, then he went against it. He spoke out against the industry, and he knew his time was coming. Now, I'm going to say that, bro. Y'all can believe it or not believe it. Now, I'm going to tell you it's too much evidence to say that that man knew he was going to die. He wasn't clairvoyant. He knew what they was going to do to him because of what he was saying.
So, I think that there's a little bit more. I mean, it could be very well. I'm not even trying to discount that, but there's a profit motive when it comes to these guys too, right? Like, like musicians, artists in general, they're more valuable dead than alive. That's just the nature of the beast. Yeah, and you make of it what you will. Like you just don't know who is looking out for. You have to keep your head on a swivel because. Shit, you're worth more dead than you are alive.
But cats know that. But cats know that though. Like when you making music, man, and with being flooded like that, cats know that. Like I be in the studio with different DJs. I mean, everybody make music now, and the thing is that they don't give a fuck about that. And the thing is, once they die, it's like almost like you become eternal with that shit because your music gonna live on before way after because the thing is the hardest thing to do is make a hit. The hardest thing to do is make your first album because no album after your first album is gonna be the same. So some motherfuckers know that. And the thing is when that industry get dark, man, because it's like I mean I seen it in their eye. That's why niggas be high, niggas be out their mind, and they be like, you know what, I make this hit. Shit, I don't ever have to make another song again, man. That shit get dark, man. I mean, I'm just piggybacking off what everybody else said. I'm just saying, y'all right. That shit get dark. Them niggas don't give it back. They don't. Man, that's a dark ass industry.
Yeah, Michael Jackson had the Beatles catalog.
Real quick, Kendrick, I seen that same documentary you were talking about, Kill Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? And I think it has to be said that. Yeah, I agree. They had to. It ain't even a conspiracy theory anymore. It's conspiracies going on. It ain't no theory about it, in my opinion. So I agree a lot with what you're saying there. Real quick, I know Harrison, he was trying to jump in, and then, it's back up. But go ahead, Harrison. I know you was trying to jump in for a second.
I was just going along with a lot of everybody and what they were saying. To be honest, I don't piss everybody off. Pac was an actor. And I think he got into some shit when he went out on the West Coast that he didn't want to be involved in. And he's probably still alive somewhere in fucking Utah within the witness protection program. Like, and this is just like I said, half joke conspiracy theory. But he saw some. Think about this. I say it like that because I look at it like this. Like Snoop, we all know Snoop was like truly connected, and he had some shit where when he was dealing with Death Row, it was tumultuous, and it was people that was on some like real life street gangster shit. I think Pac, who wasn't never really on that on the East Coast, got up there on the West Coast, got mixed up in some shit that was above his ass grade, and bowed out. I mean, he might have really got shot, but I think he bowed out and told on some people, and or not, but just bowed out. That's my weird, crazy conspiracy theory to throw into the pot with everybody else's.
Hey, I think Rick was about to tell me that Pac was still alive too. I was just waiting for him to go ahead and say it.
I don't believe it, man. Look, that man stated, look, I do not hate Tupac. Like when this stuff was going on back when I was in Pac got killed like 19, and I was not a big fan of Tupac. I just thought he was a troublemaker. I mean, like I said, I don't know the man. I'm just saying from what I was seeing, all the trouble he was causing among people, dissing people that never said anything about him. Because you got beef with Bad Boy, whatever. You're dissing De La Soul, you're dissing the Fugees, you're dissing Nas, you're dissing everybody that's anybody, Mobb Deep, because just for fame. I'm like I think he was a very intelligent dude, man, but he got a taste of that fame, man. He couldn't let it go, man. Yeah, I'm thinking like, okay, 25, 27 years later, how long it's been since 96, I'm thinking people will learn from the mistake. Nobody's learning from it because it seems like every month a new rapper, quote unquote, rapper is getting killed. Like I ain't even heard of these dudes. Like another rapper got gunned down, rapper got killed. I'm like, dude, I don't understand why guys think it's cool to live in beef. I just never understand.
If people get record deals when they find out, if the execs find out you got some trouble in the streets and you're about to be dead, hey, they're more likely to sign you, right?
They don't care about that shit. I'm telling y'all, man.
No, they do care about it. It's an incentive for them to sign you. They totally care about it.
I'm telling you.
They're trying to make money off that shit.
No, hold on, real quick. So Smoke, you saying, and I'm gonna let you go, Swap. I'm gonna let you cook next.
All right.
So I just want to make sure I'm getting with Smoke. You saying that when the industry see that you are in the streets like this and that you do have quote unquote street beef, they're more likely to sign you. That's what you're saying, right, Smoke?
Oh, yeah,
correct.
Yeah, Tribe, I agree with him, and they'll put life insurance on you, and they'll get paid once you get killed.
Go ahead, Swap.
It don't work like that, man. Like I don't know if any of y'all was in the. I don't know if y'all been in the studio with niggas, man. I don't know that, and I ain't trying to say that. Just my opinion, man. You got like to come up from the mud in the rap game. A lot of niggas get shot anyway, just off some freelance shit because. You got niggas who control these neighborhoods. You got niggas who control these boroughs. You got niggas who control this shit already. So you got to be connected with a motherfucker, or you got to have some niggas around you that's gonna, or just nigga, you make it through by luck. Because when you make a new song, that shit go everywhere, and niggas know what shit is hot and they know what shit is not. So a lot of times when you get into the rap game coming from nothing, man, you got to be willing to die for it. And that's just what the shit is. So a lot of niggas who in there making that shit, they niggas out there slanging, niggas in the strip club every night, niggas in that motherfucker pimping. I mean, it's a lot that go into that shit. And the thing is, niggas ain't caring about. They want that short term money. Nigga ain't giving a fuck about that long term shit. If you get successful, then all of a sudden, yeah, you start caring about it. Then it become a business. And then it become like some shit that you got to get your life straight in order to make it happen. But that shit's so far-fetched. Niggas like, look, if I make a hit and I die tomorrow, my family gonna eat off this shit. And now that the social media thing came into this shit, nigga make one song even after they die. They make more after they die just because they got a reputation of being real out there in the street. And I'm just saying, so what Pac and them did, Pac and them made it where it was just normal. I hate to say it, but it was like it's a normality for a rapper to die. So niggas ain't scared of that shit because when you think of rapping, you be like, well, shit, if I'm gonna rap, nigga, I gotta be scared to die, especially if I'm on that gangster shit. Now you can go make that dancing music and whatever the fuck you want, but that shit ain't popping at midnight after when the strip club, because everybody go to the strip club with that music shit to get it popped off. Your shit ain't getting played after 12:30, 12 and midnight if your shit just on some generic, peace to the people dance. Nah, you gotta have that gangster shit.
See, I was at the party when that shit changed.
Real quick, after Swab, I gotta let King Judah get it off.
No, go ahead. I'm just telling y'all what it is. I'm telling you.
Go ahead, King Judah.
Okay, listen, this is all I want to say. I want to go back. I agree with this thing about it. Nobody is wrong here, right? Because from my understanding, nobody here on this panel has ever went that far as a Tupac or a Biggie. We don't know what that life like, bro. All we can do is take the little bit of pieces of information that we done got over the years and try to put a puzzle together, figure out what happens when you take that oath, right? So nobody right or wrong, because I hear truth in what both of y'all saying. One thing I do want to point out is somebody mentioned that Pac was an actor, right? That's true. But a lot of people try to say that in a derogatory term, like, man, he wasn't really living like that and he wasn't this. I beg to differ. What I want y'all to do is remember that his mama was a Black Panther. Like Tupac, this shit bigger than Tupac. His mama was a Black Panther. She represented, while she was pregnant with Tupac, she represented her and other Black Panthers. She fired her lawyer. She fired her public defender, whoever they appointed to her, because she already saw that they was in it together and they was trying to slam her. She represented everybody by herself and got everybody off. That woman was a special woman, and she raised a special son. What y'all don't realize is the reason why Tupac can act, rap, and everything else, all this talent he had is because his mama created him. One thing she knew is she said, I can reach a few people being a Black Panther, but I'm not famous. She wanted to raise somebody with a bigger voice than her that had all her ideals to push to the world. That's what Tupac was. Tupac was her voice. So she made sure he had all the talent in the world to become, bro. Tupac is a generation of talent. I don't know if y'all realize that Tupac was good at everything he did, and there was a reason for that.
So right. So I'm here in Oakland, and I chewed up. Like I knew the family. I know Preet, hung out with that dude, his brother. Like I'm also the child of Panthers. Hung out like when we were kids together, same fucking meetings, all that shit, right? When it comes right down to it, though, man, like if you want to talk about like the metaphysics of it all, if you speak that much destruction, it's coming to your doorstep.
They know that,
right? It's just kind of the thing. It's just like when it came to like the the thug life and all that stuff, where like there and this is a little bit weird. Like so the generation. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass it off. There's a transition from like the the Black Power, Black separatism, Black nationalism. Let's get political power to change our condition as Black people in this country. There was when all of those leaders started to get like caught up by the government, COINTELPRO like set up and all this other shit. There was a transition from the political to just like the street shit, where it became like really fucking violent, like not about political and grassroots organization, but about like just lashing out because you were dissatisfied, right? Because of the inequalities in society. And that transfer from like the Panthers and a whole bunch of other just like conscious movements turned into gangster shit. And that it was like most prevalent. Like that's where the Crips and the Bloods and shit, all that shit comes from. Like it used to be community groups that were politically organized. Once they once they locked up the heads of those guys, the kids just started wilding. And Tupac is the generation of that shit. He's he inherited that shit.
That's crazy. That makes sense though. I mean, the reason why I said I'm just gonna say this. I mean, that's the thing, man. Like but the shit makes they didn't have no look. Like, okay, you say the Crips and the Bloods. Yeah, we know that it started off as a community defense, and that's where. But see, a lot of the people in the inner city didn't have no daddy. They didn't have shit, so they linked up, and they had to go to different people that was dealing with those circumstances, and they had to link up to survive. So the thing is, okay, rap come from at first when everybody when cats was spitting about some ghetto shit or just a hard upcoming of life, everybody thought that shit was a joke. Nobody wanted to listen to it. But then when the whole world started going through the shit, now the shit started popping and it made it cool. So it's damn near like suffering became cool in America. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, we can criticize the shit all day, but shit, everybody listen to it, and I don't know, man. Just hearing that shit and some point of view just don't make no damn sense to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I want to pivot just a tad bit. I want to pivot a tad, but go ahead, King Judah, get your bars off. But after that, I do want to pivot. Kind of, but the question
I just want to challenge people to understand, bro, that some of these, bro, okay, most of these artists we see, some of these people are unrelatable. Some of these people got a silver spoon in their mouth. They don't know nothing we going through. They don't care what we going through. Some of these people are agents meant to poison the community. That's what I think we missing, right? But I think what's more important is that we got to pay attention to the artists who different. And everything I'm telling you is stuff that Tupac done said at one point. I want to challenge y'all to understand, bro, it's not just Tupac. Because I hear a lot of people saying, well, the way he lived, he brought his death on himself. He talked gangster stuff and this and that, yada, yada, yada. I understand it. It's not just Tupac, bro. Michael Jackson, not only did he buy the catalog of the Beatles, Michael Jackson also on record, on film, you can look up everything I'm telling you, it's on film, where he said he gonna expose the secret societies within the music industry. Michael Jackson was dead a month later.
They were trying to take his catalog from him, like Michael Jackson made some real interesting moves, but yeah, they're vested interest, right?
If you listen to his song, They Don't Care About Us, bro. Anybody who speak out against the industry comes up dead, bro. Lauryn Hill is another one. They completely blackball her, try to make her go broke. They try to say she was crazy, and they was on her way to killing that woman.
Hold up a second. Lauryn Hill did some crazy shit though. Like, come on, man. She went to the Vatican and did some whole shit with the Pope. Like, Lauryn Hill was wilding.
She didn't do crazy in Public Enemy.
Hold up, real quick. And I agree.
Why do y'all think Lil Nas X is not never gonna die? Why do you think people like Lil Nas X would never be in danger of being killed by the industry? Because he gay and he feminizing black boys. His life will never be in danger.
Real quick, let me ask this. And I want to take this in two parts. So we're gonna start with the 90s, then we'll go to the 80s. Most influential artists, right? And the reason I'm asking, I hear we talking a lot about Tupac, and I love Pac. You know what I'm saying? I think he was very influential in the community. So want to get everybody's opinion on who the most influential artist of the 90s was, and then who the most influential artist of the 80s was. We're gonna start with D Free if he's still in the building, all positive, and we're gonna spin the block as always. D Free, you still there?
I'm still here. My most influential artist of the 90s, I gotta say Pop. Because if you look at it, Pop, people are still talking about Pop to this day. They still using his lyrics in other rap songs. And then me coming up in DC, that's all I ever heard anybody talk about was Pop. Even though Biggie was out and Biggie was a hella fire artist, more people was talking about Pop than they was talking about Biggie. And even when I was in New York, there was a lot of people talking about Biggie, but there was a lot of people talking about Pop as well in New York. So I gotta say, for me, Pop was the most influential artist of the 90s.
I ain't mad at it. Go ahead, all positive. Well, hold up, before I get my brother all positive in here. Y'all know what it is, man. I got the big homie, the OG, man. Crush is in the building, the legend himself. Welcome to the panel, Crush. We right now we're going through the most influential artists of the 90s and the 80s. It's on my brother all positive. Crush, when I get to you, I gotta get you I got an opening question for you as always, and then we'll keep it rocking. Go ahead, all positive.
Of the 80s, it's really a two-part. It's really can't say just one guy. It's really two artists of the 80s. And I'm going to say, as we got pointed out earlier, Rakim, because Rakim kind of took lyricism to that next level. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because, Kool Moe Dee was a lyricist. Kool Moe Dee and Melly Mel, they predate Rakim, but when Rakim came out, I was like, yo, what is this? I remember seeing Paid in Full video for the first time, the remix, the cold cut remix with the Arabic singing. I'm like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? You think how old I was? I'm like 10 years old looking at that. And he sounded like nobody else. So Rakim took lyricism, and it was other lyricists like Coogee Rap, Kane, these guys, but Rakim really took that lyricism to the next level. And you got Rakim, then you got Public Enemy as well, because Public Enemy started a whole Black Power movement. And their whole Black Power movement, you had guys going platinum, going gold, X-Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, Brand Nubian were pro-black rappers with the 5%. You know what I'm saying? These guys were going gold and platinum with pro-blackness, and even NWA, believe it or not. NWA first album is not a gangster rap album. It's really a conscious rap album. There's only 3 gangster songs on the whole album. The rest of the album is like social commentary. So that's another big misconception in hip-hop history. So Public Enemy influenced NWA. NWA was listening to Public Enemy. They were in full. Look, I'm not saying Public Enemy started it, but Public Enemy was the first rap album to have wearing the Raiders caps and all that stuff on Nation of Millions. They predate NWA, even though NWA is from the West Coast.
My Uzi Weighs a Ton. They had one before that. Public Enemy. They came in '87. My Nation of Millions was '88. But yeah, they killed it.
Yeah, and I said the '90s. Obviously, it's Tupac, because once Tupac got killed, everybody came out trying to rap like Tupac and wearing bandanas and all that. So that's given right there.
Obviously. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad. Harrison, same question for you. The most influential of the 90s, most influential of the 80s.
All right. Lyrically, I think most influential in the 80s was Rakim. I'm sorry, either Rakim or Slick Rick. Yeah, one of them two. I fight over that one. However, I would say most influential overall in the 80s was actually LL. And I only say that because I think he was the kind of first rapper to kind of cross over and get that non-black radio airplay where I was able to get introduced to it in the middle of Podunk, Pennsylvania. And so for me, I think he was probably one of the more influential or most influential rappers in the 80s because I think he was one of the catalysts who or was used as a catalyst to grow to where it made it profitable and it became where rap is popular music now, has been for the last whatever. In the 90s, in my opinion, I'm a big Jay fan, and I think it was Jay, and I say that because as he likes to talk about, he's been running summers since '88 or however long it's been. He's run the summers, but more than that, when you take it back to not just rap but hip hop, think about the impact he's had on the culture, the clothing, the style. Like who didn't have a pair of Air Force Ones after he kicked them out of that limo on that video? Come on, like he's had a major impact. So to me, Jay-Z in the 90s, LL in the 80s, but lyrically in the 80s, you could talk to Rakim and Slick Rick because, oh my God.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad. Swah, same question, two-parter. 80s, 90s, most influential.
Yo, for sure. I mean, how I look at music, man, especially when it comes to decades, it's always for me who kicked the shit off for the rest of the decade. So 90s, I gotta give it to Pac. Pac changed the whole thing for the 90s, man. I mean, after he started spitting and he started kicking his shit, then you start hearing a lot of other people start talking like he was talking. That's me. That's my opinion. 80s, I'm gonna go back with y'all. And Slick Rick, my dude. But Ice-T, I'm gonna give it Ice-T for the 80s, man. After he came out with Colors and the movie Colors came out, and Ice-T started kicking that shit started getting a little bit different. So that's what I got. 90s, I got Pac. Then 80s, I rock with Ice-T. That's what I say.
I ain't mad at it. My brother from the South Side, Houston, baby. What you got on it, Rick? Who give me your most influential 80s and 90s?
Oh wow! All right. Honorable mention for the 90s is my dude Brad Jordan from right down Scott Street, where I am right now, from South Acres. Mr. Scarface, honorable mention, and I'm a ride with Pac too. You know, dog. When Suge Knight bonded Pac out of jail for that bullshit rape case, he went straight to the studio and didn't leave that studio for 2 weeks straight. All he needed was women and weed. And 2 weeks, that double disc, All Eyes on Me, whole goddamn project was done. I mean, he never walked out that damn studio for 2 weeks straight, and that whole double disc was ready, and it was banging. I mean, the dude was so influential and so talented and so able to just speak his mind on a different level that nobody else was brave enough to do, rapper or not. You know, it was really something supernatural about Pac, man. That's why his life or death is still questioned. The dude was real special. So in the 80s, my honorable mention gonna go with Kurtis Blow. Kurtis Blow was the first rapper in history to sign with a major deal, a major label. He was the one the white folks first gave a chance. So gotta give him honorable mention for signing the first major deal. And hey man, I think that was around 87, 88 maybe. Man, I went and saw LL in concert, live and in color. Watched him drive his car out there on the stage. Watched him sing I Need Love from a bed on the stage, man. LL did his thing, man. So I ride with LL for them 80s too, man. He kept it strong from the early to the mid 80s, and then MC Hammer did his thing them last few years of the 80s and the early 90s. But yeah, I ride with LL.
All right, I ain't mad. King Judah, same question to you, brother.
Okay, man. Like I said, I'm an '88 baby. I don't know nothing about the '80s too much, so I can only go off who I heard of the most. You know what I'm saying? So, Rakim, you know what I'm saying? Of course, LL, like you said, and I forgot all about LL. And it sounds crazy. You said another one that nobody else mentioned, but MC Hammer. So for the '80s, bro, them all the people I heard from the '80s. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I kept hearing about them in the '80s. But for the '90s, bro, of course, Tupac. And the reason is, like I said, he was a revolutionary with a lot of stuff he did and said, right? Because I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of your modern gangster rappers, like, you know, these guys who want to be gangster rap, which nobody would disagree that gangster rap has taken over. That is the majority of what rappers want to be. You know what I'm saying? Even guys who not necessarily in the streets, they like
But
that.
how do you not hold Pac accountable for that? I'm sorry. How do you not hold Pac accountable for that?
I'm gonna answer your question, brother. I just want to kind of go with what I was saying about why they all want to be Pac. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the modern day gangster rap, anybody who want to come off as hard and tough, they emulating Tupac and nobody else. Because after Pac, that's what it was. They emulating Pac. But when you say blame, bro, the thing is, what I can say is it's two ways I can look at that. Yeah, bro, I can say that a lot of what he did and a lot of what he said influenced a lot of stuff that's not necessarily positive in the community. But I also see it from a different level. Like I said, bro, I done did research on Tupac. Man, bro, when I got deepest into my obsession with Tupac, it's an obsession, bro. It is. I dug deep into why he was saying what he said. But Pac felt like the whole world was against him. When he was speaking out against the industry, he wanted some of his closest rap buddies to join in with him. Hey, we got a platform, we got a voice. Let's tell the people what's really going on. All them people turned their back on Pac.
Right now, I'm not saying that. I saw interviews from Pac where he was contradicting himself like Bud Crawford.
Hold on. Let the brother finish.
Yeah, my bad.
That's why Tupac started lashing out at some of these rappers. Y'all thinking it was just unprovoked and out of nowhere. And we all know Tupac was eccentric. So he didn't explain himself all the time. But a lot of the people he was lashing out with is because he did have a voice and he wanted some of these people to stand with him. And they didn't. That's why he felt like they was pussy and they was bitches and everything else he called them. Because he like, man, I'm back here too. I'm going to these parties too. I'm at these meetings too. What y'all seeing what these people doing? So when I'm speaking out by myself and these people calling me crazy, y'all not coming to my defense. So you a bitch. Is that the right way to handle it? Would I handle that way? Probably not. Knowing what I was going against, man, you going against the whole industry, bro. That's why them dudes ain't staying with you, because they was terrified. I don't have the heart to do what Tupac did. I just think a lot of us need to kind of realize that we not privy to everything that Tupac seen and what he was going through and why he did what he did.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at all. Smoke. Same question. 80s, 90s, who's the most influential?
It's funny, man. Like the 80s, like I was saying, was about groups, right? And to me, the group that goes under the radar, even though the song rings out and people talk about it, is Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Like people don't really know what the hell Grandmaster Flash was doing with them DJs, cutting it up, flipping beats the way it was. Like really every song after the message came out. Even to this day, everybody's trying to do the message. Everybody wants to be like the ghetto fucking, New York Times kind of shit. The way that the message was, that fucking song killed it. Everyone is still trying to remake that fucking song. That makes you the guy. But I like that. It's hard for me to pick between one, so I'm gonna give you the four. Right? I got Grandmaster Flash Furious 5. I got Run DMC. I got the Beastie Boys. And I got Public Enemy, and I can't fucking pick for who's the most influential of the 80s. NWA came through, but like NWA, I have like a little bit of a sore spot. Even though they were very influential, they fucked my party up. We were having a good time, learning, humping on fucking girls, kissing, getting the third base and all that shit. And then all of a sudden, dudes came in, a bunch of fucking dudes that didn't have no chicks or whatever, and started punching people in the face, being mad and shit, throwing bottles and really NWA fucked the party up. Like people might want to be gangster rap right now, and that's why we can't have fucking nothing nice. But anyway, let's see. In the 90s, it's hard for me not to. Ooh, shit. Damn. Pac was all over the fucking 90s, wasn't he? Even the East Coast, West Coast thing, the rise of P. Diddy and Bad Boy and all that shit, Lil' Kim, Snoop. It's kind of Tupac's fingerprints on all that shit. He like kind of manufactured the whole East Coast, West Coast beef to sell fucking records, right? That's kind of hard to beat, like off the top of my head. Although I fucking hate that's my answer. So I'm not gonna say that. Actually, what I'm gonna go with the dark horse, KRS-One. That guy had all them backpack, like he was the refuge for all the people who didn't want to shoot somebody in the fucking face and fucking sleep with a girlfriend, right? Like if you wanted to be a dignified person, like speak with some intelligence, like I don't know, use some social mobility, not just bemoan your situation. And yeah, there was a lot of some suburban guys in there that maybe they didn't have the same kind of struggles. But KRS-One was like kind of the Pied Piper for those guys who weren't living that grimy life. I'm gonna go with KRS-One.
All right, hey, real quick, everybody in the chat, everybody listening, I don't know what I did. I did it again. I disabled the chat some type of way. I apologize. I'm working on it. I'm gonna get y'all back right. But man, we got the OG in the building, Crush. We're gonna get to the 2-part question in a second. Before I get there, I gotta ask you. Welcome to the panel. As always, it's nothing but love and respect. Man, give me your earliest memories of hip hop, and then give me your 80s and 90s most influential artists. Go ahead. The floor is yours, Crush.
Salute to the panel, man. Y'all cooking. I've been listening the whole time. So now I get to join in a little bit. Well, I'm like an old guy in this group. Up here on this panel. Wow. For me, the first time I heard a rap song was actually someone before Grandmaster Flash and the Fury 5 in Sugar Hill. It was this guy had this song, guy name was the Rapping Duke. And no, my fault. He was second. It was this song called the Double Dutch Bus. I don't know if it got around to y'all cities in the States.
Yizanka, Yizam. Is it?
Exactly. That was the very first rap song that I heard. Then along came, Kool Herc, with Curtis Blow, and of course, Sugar Hill, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. None of y'all never spoke about Africa Bambaataa. So when you talk about influence, when you talk about influences, right? You're not going to be able to really narrow it down to one person. Because I heard y'all cook, and I'm going to give y'all mine. Because there's a few. But you always have to start from the beginning. From the very beginning. Y'all is starting from the beginning. But you have to start from the very beginning of it. I heard Curtis Blow. But really the most influential would have to be the godfather who was credited for creating hip hop, which is Kool Herc. Because how the DJing came along, it was just some regular disc jocks, and this man just took an idea to a whole nother level. Because back then, when you think about music, and at the very beginning, it was just disc jockeys. You know what I mean? And when you turn on the radio, you had to listen to the stations that your parents was listening to. So if they listen to the oldies or whatever, and you hear the air personality guy, because the DJ was everything. MCing didn't come separate until a little later, because the DJ was the DJ. He was the MC. He was the damn hype man. He was all that combined. Okay. You would hear the guys on the radio. This is Tony Brown bringing you, so and so. So, it was cool, but this man Kool Herc came with an idea like, hey man, I got to do something different with this. With this music being played, gotta touch the youth a little more, because we was you have to listen to what our folks was listening to. So he came up with this idea, and he started playing music outside in the park. And back then, hip hop beats were written music notes that was played by musicians. These was the first ones you credit for a beat that you could consider a hip hop beat. You had musicians and the DJs. Some of them played instruments, but not a whole lot. So what they had to do, they had to become a conductor on top of the vinyl. And what they did, they would go to a break, a chord where it's an instrumental. It's a little funky break, and they start looping it back and forth with their fingers, no push button. So this started early. So started putting it out there. Then he's, you know, you remember the movie, what's that? Do the Right Thing with Samuel L. Jackson. You see how he was doing, you know, playing music, basically a home shift made radio station. That was kind of an example of what Kool Herc was doing. So they just start taking it out into the park. So everybody could come out and do it and add a little something to it. And the DJs was rapping. They was the one. So they was basically, they took what the air personalities was doing, and they actually just took it out into the parks. Instead, they took it from radio and into the parks and start bringing people out. But like I said, it gets boring, just the record playing, and it's just a party in your house. So you have to have a DJ. He's the entertainer. So he come up, he got to take these certain blend this together, take Aretha Franklin and mix it in with a little bit of Lynn Collins. So this is how all this concept came up, because it was about taking music and making a funky era that was going to be for the youth. And that's what they did. So Kool Herc, DJ Theodore, who's considered the creator of the quote unquote scratch. And that was supposed to happen by accident, where Kool Herc was more so blending. That's what he was more so doing. Then DJ Theodore came along, and this is where the scratch was supposed to came in by accident. It got around, and hey, you put two turntables together and you James Brown and shit, because they got the idea of looping the music from James Brown, who band was looping certain chords. And y'all all can relate to this. And that's why I made it so easy for these guys to start sampling the music. And when you first think about the early stages, they wasn't even sampling this shit. They would find the breaks on the records first, and then they would play that break or that instrumental, and that was jazz instrumentals, disco, all that music prior to that, and they mixed it together like a gumbo, and it became funky. So when African Bambaataa picked it up, boom, then you had to start with your Sugar Hill Gang, and you had Kumo D and the Treacherous Three. They was out there. They was really top-notch MCs. That was like a dream team. Curtis Blow. You had the Cold Crush Brothers. I heard y'all speak on Kaz and those guys. And the Funky 4+1, the Fantastic Four. So all these guys start coming around. And, you know, the Bronx was where it all started from. But, you know, if you're a true New Yorker, they're going to say different things. But who am I? I'm from Philly. I have a different argument. And so that's when it all started. So when it finally got around to the, you know, it actually being on the radio, when it's actually rapping, like I said, you had the Double Dutch guy, you had the rapping Duke. But before that actually took place, James Brown was rapping. The Last Poets was rapping. If you had grandparents that listened to that type of music, you was going to hear it. So once it got to the youth, the older youth, and they say, hey, we're going to start, you know, speeding up by our tempo, how we talk, and we put these words together that rhyme, and, you know, speak our mind freely. And that's what MCing really started from. It actually started from the DJs getting the party high, taking some words and, you know, saying some fly stuff out of your mouth, because back then you had to know how to communicate, which they don't know how to communicate now. You had to know how to communicate. So everybody back then was a wordsmith. No matter if you rapped or not, you was a wordsmith because you had to know how to talk. So if you didn't know, you had some music that will open up your shy speech and give you that swag to where you can communicate. So everybody was rapping, no matter if you was rapping to a beat or not, everybody was rapping. So when he started putting the elements of hip hop together, which is a cultural thing, it's a culture. It's about expressing music in our own way, expressing what's going on in the hood. People don't know. Speaking freely about the poverty, because it comes from a poverty-stricken region of people, you know. So it was about the struggle. So we was able to take the struggle and put it out there in a different way from what Marvin and Stevie and, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire and all those legends was doing. So now we can be able to say it, and it was a cool thing for us to do, because now we can express ourselves. Because now we knick-knack, patty-whack, give a dog a bone. You know, that was the pattern. You see what I'm saying? So now you sound fly doing it. You got this little beat back there. Now you got this going on. So now when the DJs was doing it and rhyming, after a while you got to get an MC, because you just can't be doing all that. So then you had the MC, he's shit talking. Because that's what it is. You got to talk that shit, man. What you rapping about? I got some rap for you. You know, that's what it all came about. So it was a cultural thing for you to communicate in with your people through music and talk about your everyday conversation, except for you just one person telling a story that you would normally have a conversation amongst your peers in your hood and make it sound funky. And that's where it all started from. So the influence really had to go from Kool Herc and then African Bambaataa, because they was the first ones that bought that dressing weird shit, and respectfully. And where they got that from, they got the way that they dress from who? The musicians, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Isley Brothers, Parliament and Funkadelic. You know, they was all dressing like that. So they picked that up from there, and then this is where you get your first true influence of the 80s, which have to be Run DMC, because before then, you know, the rappers, you know, when you look at the videos, they was dressing like motherfuckers that was going to the club and shit. You got silk shirts on, you got the shit halfway button, you showing your motherfucking chair pet chicken meat and all this stuff. You wearing the slacks and shit. You wearing the suit pants from the Temptations. You know, so they, you know, before they really started wearing sneakers, they was wearing Stacey Adams and Gators and Crocs and all this other shit, because most of the men that took to it was elderly men. So it wasn't really no young people around at the time until around LL came about and the Rakims. But before then, you look at those videos, them guys look like they was damn well in their goddamn 30s. So, you know, the early rappers that came out on Wax First, they was like a fucking hip hop version of the Whispers. You see what I'm saying? Because they dressed like grown men and things like that. So when, you know, Run DMC came along, they more so brought the other, the fashion part of hip hop together with the Adidas and, you know, the thick ass strings, shoelaces and things like that. Loosen them up. Loosen up. We ain't doing that tight shit no more. You know, back then we was used to wearing everything tight. Like everybody think wearing this tight shit is new. No, the way they wear it is new because they wear it super weird, but they was wearing that tight shit back in the day. Go look at the Four Tops, go look at the Temptations, man, they wearing them tight ass goddamn shark skin suits. You see what I'm saying? But they was men, all men. So then we wasn't doing that. So now they bringing the music to the younger folks. We not trying to be dressing up like we going to motherfucking Sunday school, to be going to a party and we about to slip and slide and all over the damn place. So when Run DMC, they came about, they said, we're gonna loosen it up. Let's put some sweatsuits on. Let's loosen up the sneakers. Let's stop doing the peanut butter sandwich tie up where you lacing your shit real tight and your blood pressure was going up when you was wearing no flat ass Converses with no goddamn ankle support. So everything was tight. So with hip hop, it was everything loosened up, and it was for a way for us to express ourselves, because we was getting tired of listening to our parents' music. We was starting to feel like we was old folk. So once our people got a glimpse of it, they like, well, we don't understand what they talking about. How y'all can't understand what they talking about. You can hear these people clear. How can you say they can't understand Melly Mel compared to we can't understand what the goddamn Migos said? They was hating at the time. You know, they was hating because they asses didn't come up with it. And I sat down with a couple old heads and, you know, I had to bust them out on it. But, you know, they got kind of used to it. So because you had men that was about responsibility and they was talking about what was going on, what they everyday life was about, living in poverty, living in the urban city. That's what it's about. And everybody can express their story among other people. So you got your Run DMCs, they come out, they loosen things up. Then they added the rock onto it. So they was very influential because everybody was rocking those Adidas sweatsuits.
Now, hold on, Crush. Hold on.
What up, bro?
You ain't gave me one person though. You gotta pick, you gotta narrow it down and give me somebody.
Did you listen to what I said at the beginning?
You can't give
it to one person. He said Cool Herc. He said he started with Cool Herc.
Okay,
thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Now,
give
me somebody in the 90s. Give me somebody in the 90s so we can open the panel back up. Oh, you can keep cooking.
Cool Herc is 70s though, really.
Real quick. The 90s real quick and Dub. See, when you do this type of thing, bro, you got to slow down a little bit because you don't want to miss them, but we'll work at your pace. Don't worry about it. We got you. 90s. Now, I heard y'all talking about Tupac. I'm about to bust y'all out. When it comes to the 90s, most influential is a tie between two people. We're going to narrow it down to one that's going to fuck y'all head up. It's not even Tupac. Because when y'all talk about the way Tupac was dressing, you know who was doing that before Tupac? We're going to take it to goddamn East Orange, New goddamn Jersey. Goddamn Naughty by Nature. That's where Pac got it from. Pac ain't start that. That shit, man, started with Naughty by Nature. With wearing the damn bandanas around the head, the goddamn the Super Tims with the steel toe. That started with Naughty by Nature, man.
Hockey jerseys.
You gotta remember that was the
We're talking about juice right now.
It started with Naughty by Nature. If you think about it, right? Let me finish. Naughty by Nature had one of the biggest impacts out of a few that had an impact in the 90s, which is very arguable. That's a whole different story. You had to set a whole nother conversation for the 90s because it was the most competitive era. So you could say Tupac, nobody have a problem with it. You can say Naughty by Nature. You can say fucking Puffy. You can say this clown. You can say Jay-Z. You can say Busta fucking Rhymes. Because all these people had an impact in a very short time. Then you could trump all that and say Lil' Kim because you had all the girls, just quote unquote quiet girls coming out. Now all females want to try to suck ding-a-ling for the first time. You know, I'm gonna try to keep it clean. But we talk about influences. So the 90s is more than one. But Lil' Kim, you can say, well, damn, trumped all that because she had all little chicks want to go out and hoe out. And that's just facts. You know, you didn't want your girlfriend listening to no Lil' Kim if you had feelings for your girlfriend. What the hell she talk? Don't be singing that shit. I know I felt that way. And none of y'all shouldn't have to be shy if you was in that stage too. Because she had the chicks want to open up. Before then, females didn't want to be fucking wild, be known as whore. Salt and Pepper was classy. MC Light was on a whole different vibe. Shantae, you know, who's the queen MC, you know, she was into just crushing motherfuckers. She wasn't worrying about, you know, dressing with the shit out and talking about, you know, fellatio and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's so many people that impacted. So it was very competitive in the 90s. But if I'm gonna go with one, overall, I'm gonna go with Naughty by Nature off the Tupac thing. But I would say Pac rode that very well, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because he helped that, you know, get out even more. And like I said, it was competitive. You had Pac making noise. And at the same time, Pac is in his prime, so was Naughty by Nature. They have like two of the biggest goddamn hip-hop songs of all time in the 90s, and so everybody else. But then if you go back to the 80s, if there's one person you could leave it to after Run DMC and them, you can say LL Cool J. And he's a descendant off of Run DMC, but he had an impact because this was the guy was more so one to talk about love rap. Now we had Spoonie G with the love rap song, but everybody didn't pick up and want to do a love rap song because Spoonie G did it. Everybody just loved the song. But when LL did it, then everybody wanted to try it. Big Daddy Kane, salute to the legend, but he followed that and tried to do it too much and it fucked up his career. But you had a lot of other guys wanting to put that, adding the love song, or even singing or harmonizing, which got away because that was a part of hip hop at first with the early groups and kind of brought it back. So you got to say LL, man. So it's so many, so you really can't narrow it down to one, man, because so many people was making so much of an impact, you know,
right
in these years. Right.
Real quick, man, we got my brother Piro in the building. Piro, shout out to you. Welcome to the panel, brother. Same question, real quick, man. Your earliest memories of hip hop, and then your earliest memories of hip hop, and then 80s, 90s. Who you think were the most influential of those two eras?
Shit, it's the same answer for both questions for me. My earliest memory of hip hop was Eazy-E. I remember being a very, very little kid, and my brother was working out, listening to fucking Boys in the Hood and shit. You know, after that I was hooked. But the most influential, shit, man. Yeah, you got a few of them, man. You got NWA, you got Tupac. Yeah, man. I mean, shit. There's too many to count.
I ain't mad at it.
Salute to the panel.
Rodzilla.
You know what
hold on, let me get the brother Rodzilla his opening words, and then the panel back open. Rodzilla, welcome to the panel, my brother. You know what it is. Opening question, man. Your earliest memories of hip hop, and then your most influential artist of the 80s and then of the 90s.
You said earliest memories of hip hop, bro?
Yes, sir. You there? We can't hear you, brother. I don't know. We heard you from the beginning. Now, is it me? Can y'all hear?
Yo, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah. You good to go?
All right, bet. Man, you said earliest memories of hip hop, bro. I was born in '94, bro. So as a kid, bro, I just remember riding around with my pops, listening to Cube and Snoop, bro. A whole lot of Cube, whole lot of Snoop, and then down south stuff, you know, UGK. 8-Ball and JG, but Cube and Snoop, bro, I feel like them the two biggest artists of the 90s.
I ain't mad at it. The panel is open.
Yeah. When Crush said double dutch, when Crush said double dutch, it reminded me. Actually, the first rapping I heard, it wasn't like, to me, it wasn't like a hip hop song. But the first rapping I heard was actually fucking Bill Cosby on a Jackson 5 song called "The Day Basketball Was Saved."
That's crazy. I thought Bill Cosby hated rap.
Did you say Bill Cosby?
Yeah, it's Bill Cosby and Jackson 5. A song called The Day Basketball Was Saved.
Oh my God, man.
Damn, Smokey, you remember that, John? Hey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when you said double dutch, I was like, okay, hold up a second. But if you're gonna go like that, I was thinking like the first hip hop song, but like the first rapping, yeah, that was that one. Like if we were doing double dutch, what's it? And Stacey Lattisaw. Queen had that shit. Another one Bites the Dust. But yeah, before all that shit, it was Jackson 5. Then playing in the house before the wall dropped. Before Michael split the group and they dropped the wall. Yeah, they had that one joint. They had that one album.
Go ahead, Rick.
Start calling all y'all niggas OGs.
Right.
No, man. Even. Hey, when Crush got historic, hell, he had me thinking about Rudy Ray Moore. Dolomite.
Yeah, there you go,
Gil
man.
Scott Heron. Yeah, Gil Scott Heron.
He hit that last chorus, yeah.
Dude, even dog, Curtis Mayfield. Man, a lot of them cats, Isaac Hayes. Man, dude, a lot of them dudes from back in the Gap, 50s and 60s, yeah, they was rapping, so to speak, too. You know, hey, when you have that talent to rhyme and be able to have your timing and your pitch and all that shit together and be able to tell a story, that evolves generations, man. You got it or you don't. And we done witnessed a lot of special, exceptional individuals, you know, the last 60 years that that's gonna live on forever, that we gonna listen to forever. Cause dog, it's been some hella fine music that been put out, and it's shit a lot more to come.
That's real shit, OG. Hey, Rick, I always call him my OG, man. That's real shit. Because when my granddad was riding around back in he had tapes. I'm an '84 baby, but they listen to Curtis Mayfield. They listen. Curtis was the one for me. Like the first time I heard Curtis.
Dog, Swat, you know how many songs Curtis, how many songs for other artists Curtis done written? Man, Curtis was hey man, Curtis was the man, boy. Hell, look, that's why, hey, Judah was talking about how they be killing them artists. Hell, that's what they did to Sam Cooke. They got rid of Sam Cooke the same way, cause shit, he was finna own all his shit.
Hey,
so
OG,
it's dirty.
Hey, OG, I still ride behind people listen to Curtis Mayfield. Still, give me your love.
Me too,
nigga, man.
Hell yeah, goddamn right.
Stop, Curtis Mayfield. That was the first gangster rapper in that shit to me. Shit. All the gangsters listen to Curtis.
Loved and I lost. Boy, don't get me started. For real.
Yeah, it was Ice Cube.
Hold on, real quick. We got some feedback. Make sure y'all put yourself on mute if y'all ain't talking.
How come nobody mentioned Nas? He goes under the radar.
That's about two. You gotta. I don't know.
Great rapper, not so influential.
96, bro. Nas, 95,
I'm sorry.
96,
Great rapper, but not so influential.
Really? I mean, I think there would be no Fat Joe. I mean, Lord Finesse, like that whole like Queen shit. I mean, Cool G was already there. He was like a Queen. He was a Cool G baby. But he helped those whole Queens do. Like Raekwon was fucking terrible. Fat Joe couldn't rap worth a lick. Without Nas.
Didn't know that. Still, that's lyrical influence. I still stand on Jay as far as the lyrical and cultural influence. But I didn't know what you just said, Smoke. So appreciate that info. I didn't know Nas was helping my Joey Crack, because that's my homeboy.
Man, it wouldn't be none of. I mean, it wouldn't be no Nas without Eric. What was it? Eric B.
Yeah. Lord Finesse. It was those Ding and the Crazy guys. Lord Finesse. Actually, I think it was Greg Nice. Greg Nice brought fucking Nas or some shit over to G Rap's house.
Large Pro that helped Nas. Large Pro brought Nas out.
If we talking about late '90s, man.
No. I mean, Nas first dropped with Main Source with Large Professor, right? The Live at the Barbecue shit.
If we talking about late '90s, DMX came down and shut down the late '90s. DMX came in that motherfucker real good.
I thought the Pop Goes the Weasel Goes Pop brought out Nas.
No. What's the name? Benefit from the Large Pro.
I forgot what his name was.
MC Search.
DMX did his thing, man. Yeah, DMX came from nowhere and did his thing. I don't know if DMX did it like Jay-Z though. Like they were swinging swords. Jay-Z, Nas, the DMX, they were killing it. They were killing it in the 90s. Out of nowhere.
I'm saying late 98 or 97 by 99, DMX on them charts, baby.
It's just that first Nas album. Like it took him forever to drop that album, and when that first one dropped, all the production, all the things, it was just, man, that was a hell of an album. That's still one of the best albums.
What's that, Illmatic?
Yeah, but influence. Yeah.
None of them. Hey, nobody can name an album that topped The Chronic though.
A lot of albums.
Nobody topped The Chronic.
I need my radio. They even said LL Cool J. That's his first joint. My radio.
Nobody.
Right. That's it. Beastie Boys stayed like License to Ill stayed on the charts for like 3 decades.
Nah, The Chronic set that shit off.
Chronic did that shit off, bro.
Hey, yeah.
Oh man.
You guys need to check the Raising Hell shit. Also killed it. For the 80s, but that's the 80s. That's not the 90s.
But Rick Timms, I'm with you on the Chronic because the Chronic was true hip hop in the sense that it brought at the forefront the DJ and the beat, and then he brought in people to write for him and people to rap with him, and it just was like that shit.
Man, that had everybody barbecuing, man. That had the rise out, man. Then the beat hitting the damn.
Yeah, I mean that killed it. There was it the summer '93,
92.
92. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Was it 92?
It was definitely 92.
Yeah.
No, Smoke. Was it 93 Smoke? I tell you what was 93 Smoke. 93 was Doggy Style. That was the end of 93. That took forever to come out, and that Doggy Style came out late 93, and then that killed it too.
That's when my homies dropped.
Quick question. Is there an album, bro, with better skits than Doggy Style?
Yeah, De La Soul first album.
Oh shit, Wu-Tang stayed with the skits. Goddamn, De La Soul skits to stay with the skits. And a lot of people had good skits. Fucking Redman, good skit.
Invented the skit.
Wu-Tang had the best. Either Wu-Tang or Redman had the best skits.
Yeah.
Redman was infamous for his
man.
Hey, them Cash Money skits too. Them
I ain't gonna lie,
even Puffy had some good skits. Mad Rapper and all that shit. Like, they're skits.
Drop Call Quest had that shit bumping too. Damn, y'all bringing back memories.
Oh yeah, you can't forget about the Tribe, yo.
Yeah, man. Got a question to the New Yorkers up here. People that was in New York. Well, no disrespect. I'm from the South too. But I'm just saying that people that listen to boom bap music. I have an unpopular opinion, and hardly anyone agrees with me. Only a handful. But when Illmatic dropped in '94, a lot of people like to do history revisionists. It was a great album, but around my way, college radio, the underground station, we listen to Sunrises in the East more than Illmatic.
Oh, J. Rue the Damager.
See, Come Clean was a beat like so everybody. So that was the rise of the MC. So everyone took that particular instrumental to freestyle over. All over the motherfucking country. That Come Clean beat had whatever rapper from around your way was on that shit at the fucking club.
Listen, man. I got a tape, right? It's a Philly tape. I'm gonna have to try to put on my YouTube channel. This tape is a 2-hour tape, bro, of a bunch of different rappers from this city freestyling off of fucking Come Clean. It's a compilation. Because, like you said, when that beat dropped, bro, every MC wanted to rap off that joint. If you wanted to go to a record label or spit for somebody, you had that instrumental with you. That shit was it, man. Primo, motherfucker, man. God damn.
Yeah, I did. I spent around that time I was in New York. I spent some time in DC and was going back to like all over the fucking country. The same goddamn thing. A bunch of nappy, like dread little dude, baggy ass fucking pants. Like those cloth backpacks, goddamn chew sticks, rapping to Come Clean. That's what that fucking whole thing was about. 94. Yep.
I ain't gonna lie. The instrumental I heard everybody spitting on was that Mobb Deep. What was it?
The Quiet Storm joint?
Yeah, I heard that.
I know. Yeah.
I heard that everywhere, bro.
Hey, real quick, man. Real quick, man. We got my brother Five in the building, man. So I gotta bring Five in the right way. Y'all know what it is. Five, man, nothing but love and respect. You know what it is, my brother. Welcome to the panel. Give me your opening words. The question of the night, man. Your earliest memories of hip hop, and then your two or the 80s most influential artists, and then your 90s most influential artists. Then the panel's back open and everybody rocking.
Oh man, earliest moments of hip hop, man, shit. Well, let's just say this: Rakim, my favorite rapper, been like this since I was like in high school. So, you know, and that shit ain't changed yet. You know what I'm saying? But when I think about hip hop, of course, Rakim, Eric B, Spice One, Big L, shit. God damn, Public Enemy. You can, man, God damn it, dog. Man, Nah, see, I mean, who we can keep on going. De La Soul, I mean, Coogee Rap. Uh, man, let me light my blunt up. They get my thinking, my thinking juices flowing.
Well, Fizzle.
Shit. What it do, Christian, my brother? What it do? Rick Tilliams, what it do? Sway, Hero, what's going down? Rozilla,
What
what's
up,
going
G5?
on with you guys? All positive, what's good with your hair?
I'm living, my
Salute to
man.
everybody.
I'm living.
No other than Dub. What it do, Dub? You in here learning some hip hop and about some music, man?
Man, hey, you know, they this is what the people call for, and it's a hell of a conversation going on right now. I'm loving it.
Crush, hey, Crush, I got a question for you though, man. Did you personally know Lawrence Goodman?
Yeah, I used to dance for 3 times dope.
Hold on, real quick. That's what I'm asking because Lawrence Goodman he had produced for 3 times dope, Cool C, Steady B, and the thing is, a lot of people don't know who are the youngsters of his sons.
Yeah, that Karan and Reed. Yeah.
Yep.
Karan and Taj is his son. Yeah.
And
listen, hey, since you asked me that question, look, I got something for you real quick. When I first started dancing for 3 times dope, and they was still under Lawrence Goodman before they broke off, right? We used to rehearse in Lawrence Goodman basement, man, and fucking Karan and Taj was kids, yo.
They were kids.
And Karan was funny looking. He looked like a little Asian kid with big teeth and shit, but I knew he was gonna probably be a good producer, which he is. He's probably one of the most unsung guys in hip hop. Y'all gotta check out his story. And anything you wanna know about Philly far as running, that behind the whole Steady being that whole shit, he knows a whole lot. So I knew them when they was young bucks, man. So yeah, I knew Lawrence Goodman, and actually one of Lawrence Goodman brothers lived right around the corner from where I grew up at, bro. Yeah, the oldest brother. Yeah, and his other brother was Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince manager. His brother Robert Goodman knew him too. Yeah, so yeah, I knew those guys, man.
It's funny you brought up. I got one more thing.
Dope ass question, Piro.
It's funny. One thing. It's funny you mentioned. That's one more thing I'll say to you. I remember you brought up Steady B. I remember the first day I heard about that Steady B and Cool C bank robbery. I was looking at Rap City. Then it came on a TV screen. It came on like on a commercial break on BET. Because like I said, we wasn't privy to YouTube and the internet back then. So anything you heard on BET and rap magazines. So when it came on BET,
right.
like this you know what I'm saying? It was crazy because there was the first black female to get killed in the line of duty that got killed during the bank robbery. Well, you know that. You from the area. You know that story. Yeah, but I this first time I heard about that when it flashed across BET that in the 90s after it happened.
Budo left a good question in the chat. He said, "What's the first album y'all purchased?"
I was seeing that too. That's a dope ass question, Piro. For real.
Yeah. I'm curious. I've always been curious on like not just hip hop, but anybody's first album. But just in relation to this conversation, like what was like the first hip hop album you guys purchased?
First album I got was AT Aliens, bro, by Outkast.
Delicious, baby. Like, man. Nah, that wasn't even on that. That was Players Ball on the first one. I think so.
Yeah, Players
Ball. Hey,
Ball.
Well, now mine was All Eyes on Me. That was the first time I learned how to make some money. I cut grass like a motherfucker for $15.
Wow.
Yeah, mine was the
very first.
Go ahead, Chris.
The very first tape I ever bought was Run DMC's first album. That's the first hip hop album, rap album that I ever bought. Far as listening, but far as I was talking about having vinyl collection and being a DJ too. I think I got roughly around 9,800 and something records.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the vinyl baby.
I love vinyl.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm shocked you're not a Kid Frost fan.
Yeah, I was. I was at one point. You know, like I don't think he fuck, bro. I'm not like into music as much as I used to be back in the day. But I mean, yeah, I like I fucked with Kid Frost when he came out.
Who?
He's
Oh, he's a Mexican rapper from over here west.
He's a lot of Kid Frost, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Easy put him on. You know, Easy put on a lot of Mexican rappers actually.
I hate all of y'all so much.
I ain't gonna lie, like down here, man, I'm
gonna tell you why.
Yeah,
Hero is a great question, and when I think about that question, the messed up thing is I think the first album that I bought or had bought for me by my parents was Run DMC's Christmas album. I think I stole LL
Christmas album.
I swear to God, that's how. Like that was the only way I was able to get my parents to be able to anything rap. They want look, man. I had to steal LL Cool J's radio single, and I'm pretty sure that my first album that I listened to of rap was Run DMC's Christmas stuff. And then after that was Reasonable Doubt. I swear to God.
My boy said,
"Wow,
man, y'all remember Music Warehouse?"
Yeah. They had one up there.
What's that, bro?
Hey, remember people used to steal CDs, man. They knew how to open it, pop like an old one in that was scratched, and they get to do it, man. Then they stopped. They closed that shit down, man. We was upset. We was sad.
We didn't have a Music Warehouse.
Hey, man, you know. Go ahead, bro. My fault.
I was just saying we didn't have a Music Warehouse here. We had a bunch of mom and pop joints like Tracks and Record Bar Tracks and Roses. I don't know if y'all know it's still called Roses.
I think we had Roses down here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they still got a few of them, but they used to sell in the 80s. My aunt used to take me to Roses in the early 80s and buy me 45s. They used to have records and Roses back in the day before CDs was being sold, records and tapes. I used to go there and get records.
Man, I remember I stole the Lauryn Hill record when she dropped her album back in like '98.
Man, that's what made me feel like the music kind of like stuff kind of like messed up music, man. You don't have to save up money to go get an album no more. You don't have to like wait for it to drop. Like it's like as soon as it drop, it's on the internet. Man, I mean, we used to wait months for something to come out, man. I miss them days, man.
That's why kids don't respect music today, because you know, an album come out and you get it as soon as it drops, and then they listen to it for 2 weeks and move on to the next. I remember when an album would drop back in the day, it might be 3 weeks before you hear it if you didn't know nobody that had an album.
For real, man.
You might not hear the album, but
Well, the content was different too. Like I'm gonna tell you something. I listen to Jay-Z albums and I still be interpreting Jay-Z, Nas, Rakim, some of the greatest lyricists. Like you hear them in some of the double or triple or quadruple entendres that they put into a bar at times. Like you be hearing that shit 10 years later and didn't realize that it could mean that. That's the greatness in some of the lyricists or best rappers that are out there, that you can still find something new in a song you've heard 150 times. Whereas now, like, don't get me wrong, my son loves Travis Scott, but it'll like it's a rock concert, it's a mosh pit, and I don't get no real depth out of the lyrics. But that goes back to why I think 80s and 90s are better, and our conversation is so great.
Hey man, let me ask this. I'm gonna ask the panel this question right here, since we are kind of getting into today's music to some degree, especially with my brother bringing up Travis Scott. What, in y'all opinion, I think that music was totally different in the 80s and 90s than what we're getting now. Man, what was the transition from that to what we kind of have now? This the whole gangster rap scene, as well as individuals. It's become more about the beat than lyrics anymore. It ain't really what you're talking about. Does it sound good more than anything else? What was the transition, in y'all opinion, to from that time back then to where we are today?
Shit, a lot of shit. You got auto tune. If you look back in the 80s and 90s, the penmanship, the pen game was important, because it was more people and their peers was around them was dropping dope ass lyrics. You know what I'm saying? So they got to a point now where people got so fixated and crazed with beats, so it drowns out people's penmanship and you know what I'm saying, they skills or the lyrical aspect of it. So now if you got a nice beat and a catchy hook, then you popping. back, you know what I'm saying, back then it was about your bars. It was about your wordplay, or you a wordsmith, you know what I'm saying? So I think the transition changed when, you know, what people look for in music and hip hop in general. This ain't hip hop today. It's rap. It's not hip hop. I think that's what people gotta understand.
I agree.
You sir are correct, but you know what I think the biggest change, you're correct what you just said, but you know I think the pivotal point that changed everything in hip hop was when Biggie and Pac got killed and Puffy became a star. Because when Puffy became a star, everybody's like, well, I don't have to know how to rap to be a star. And you started seeing all the guys coming out, everybody was releasing albums. I was like, oh my God, man.
Damn, that's wrong as hell, but it's so right.
Yeah, I know. Everybody diddy bopping everywhere.
Man.
Oh, that's wrong as hell, but it's so right. Oh man.
Yeah, that's when all the goofy came in. I hate to have this hip hop discussion and got to talk about this piece of crap, man. But once Biggie and Pac died, man, it really got horrible, man. And the transition, y'all got to think about it. It was planned, and like y'all was saying at the beginning of the Cook, the earlier music was more substance. You see what I'm saying? To whereas today's music is substance abuse. You was learning something. Cause one was teaching you history. Refreshing you in history. People was talking about the struggles. Melly Mel was talking about how drugs is playing in the neighborhoods and how children is starving and things like that. Curtis Blow, told us that it's gonna be trials and tribulations with the breaks, but you just take it on the chin and keep on moving. He kept us connected with the sports, with the basketball song and things like that. Sugar Hill, talked about having a good time. To now, it's so bad, and like you said, it's the beat down, and what the beat does is sad that it hides what a motherfucker's really saying. And when you take the beat away and just listen to these folks lyrically, they are not saying nothing but a bunch of nonsense. The women are even fucking worse now. Everything is about beat the pussy the fuck up. Go out, get ran down, get a train ran on you, this, that, and the other. Fuck that, pick up a gun too, go rob niggas. Like, are you serious? Even when Lil' Kim, came out and had an influence, damn, she didn't make them go that far. But just look at the music and back then when you was talking about a high, you was talking about a natural high. You was talking about the high that you connect with the higher being, things like that. They talked about a little bit of, weed, a little bit of liquor here and there. Now there's, be sedated all day, be high, fucked up, drink lean all day. Like, what the fuck? Talk about dating, putting drugs and girl drinks and raping. Like, what the fuck is this nonsense?
It's crazy, man.
So the transition came in, it had to start from the late 80s. A lot of people blame it on NWA, but when you really break it down, it's not really NWA. You know what I mean? It's everything they came after. Just like I said, once Puffy got and everything just went loose. Everything just started, and it's horrible because you don't know who's an MC now and who's a rapper, and it's sad because most of these guys that signed to these labels that we listen to now, some of these guys are talented. Some of them are skilled, but they sold their soul, man, because their whole thing is, I want this big money, I want this fast money. So instead of waking up my people, I'm gonna get paid for keeping my people motherfucking sleeping blind and dumb. People sell their soul, man, because they ain't got no motherfucking heart. That's why you sell your soul. It's easy for a person to sell their soul when they ain't got no heart, because they ain't willing to stand 10 toes for what they really believe in and what they really stand for and stand against. But you know, all these soft ass kids today, and making it easier, you know, and they just talk about a bunch of nonsense, man. Got women talking about they like to get peed on and shit like that. So the transition was part of the plan. The more the music is around, the more we gonna keep it around and make it for the next generation for them to be fucked up in the head. Look at from the time when you started as a child listening to hip hop compared to if any of y'all have children that's old enough to listen to hip hop or rap music, listen to what they gotta listen to the rap they gotta listen to.
For real, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like my son 14, man, and like I be, he don't really listen to it, which I'm thankful for that, man. But I be trying to tell him, like, man, the shit that they talking about now, man, you know, we didn't talk about it. I mean, we said it, but it wasn't like this shit, man. Like, this shit different, bro. This shit different, man. It's like you can't even, if you want to have a good day, man, you really don't need to, you really can't ride around and listen to that shit, man. You know what I mean? And that's just my opinion, man. It's on, and the reason why I say that, man, it's like you can't hear it, but every word that you do hear, it ain't nothing positive. And then it's like, you know, like my man said, like OG Crush said, man, it ain't nothing positive in it. It's either about fucking a bitch or it's about point guns and shit. Like, and what's funny, like, OGs, we already know, nigga, that shit you talking about on there, man, you ain't really back that shit, man. And because I mean, and the thing is, it ain't about like a nigga being hard, but it's like back in the day, man, we ain't had no social media. You ain't getting on no YouTube and shit, man. You say you back that shit, you better be back that shit when you walk down the street every day. It ain't no hide behind no keyboard, man. And that's the shit that I gotta I try to shy away from and stay away from niggas like that, cause I ain't fucking with that. Like, it's like, nigga, use a damn hero behind that keyboard, but I guarantee you, if you said something about a nigga when I was growing up, you had to go to school the next day. Your mama and them wasn't letting you stay home, and you had to confront that nigga. And if you didn't, everybody was gonna know through word of mouth. You was gonna have to come outside at one point. Now you can just say what you want to do, get paid, stay behind the keyboard, nobody ever see you. I don't like that. I don't know. Anyway, I can rant about that shit on and on, but that's why I can't listen to this new rap shit, man. Like, man, you a Pro Tools motherfucking G, man. That's how I look at it, man.
The difference between now and then is these kids is stupid. They don't know what life is and what they're giving away. Man. Like, the real ones back in the day, they still here. Like, Jay talk his shit, tell you, go ahead and question me because I got motherfuckers that can vouch for me, and I ain't gonna bullshit. I kind of can. Anyway, he talk his shit, and same thing with Joey Crack. He talk his shit, and he got niggas that vouch. But the thing is, them niggas, as they got big and got money, they got away from it. And then you got turd ass motherfuckers like Tekashi 6ix9ine who get their ass whooped for talking shit that they ain't really living in fucking Crunch Fitness bathrooms. That's where the difference, like, is bad.
It is. I agree with all you guys, man.
You know, it's interesting. One thing that he just said, then we come to you, Piro. It's interesting when he say you got individual back then. They use this, you know what I'm saying, to make a bag, to get them and their family into a better situation. Now you have individuals that come from good situations, start rapping, and then want to go running and act like they doing gang shit. They want to go.
Ja Morant.
You're doing this completely backwards, bro. This has never been a
ass backwards. What is your? Oh my god!
It's always been you always were supposed to utilize these crafts. You know what I'm saying, to uplift you and your family. Not to sit there, jump into it, coming from a good background, and then to put yourself in bad situations after you didn't. It's ass backwards, bro, and it goes into a lot of the lyrics that we hear now. Yeah, some of the lyrics, there are people out here living those lives. You feel me? It is what it is, and you got people rapping about it. But then the sensationalism of this lifestyle, right? Of being a gangster, being or running into the streets doing these type of things have really taken over a lot of the youth that, bro, you from the suburbs, bro. You have a great life. You know what I'm saying? You're not growing up struggling. It ain't cool to struggle, bro. It ain't cool to struggle.
Man, Doug, man, look, man, I'm so hot with this conversation because we all know, man, like all of us up here, we, you know, when you come from shit like that, man, you don't talk about it because you don't even want to relive it. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to say nothing because if you're on the other side of everything, you know that God gave you the grace to live another day, man, and you cherish it every day and you treat everybody with love because it was one point where you weren't living like that. And when I see cats always talking about that shit like that, man, you ain't seen enough, bro. Like you ain't seen enough. Like, because if you really understood what that is, like you said, you come from the like, you know, like cats be talking tough and you come from the suburbs, man. And the thing is, if you come from the suburbs, why you ain't giving your mom and your daddy more respect for even putting your black ass in the suburbs, bro? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a whole nother disrespect when it comes to that shit. I just had to piggyback what you said, Doug, because that's irritating, man. Like, niggas who come from that and survive that don't want to talk about it.
And definitely don't want to go back to it.
No way.
Like, bro, what are you doing? So, hey, go ahead, Pierre. I apologize. I cut you off, my brother.
No, you're good. No, I think Crush and Swap hit it on the head. Back in those days, like I remember Crush was saying that they blamed MWA, and they did. I remember the FBI was on them. But the thing was, like, they always used to say, you know, like the Easy was like the true gangster in the group or whatever. But you know, like he obviously didn't do that anymore. But the thing was that like they said it themselves. They were just more like they were documenting what was happening in Los Angeles in that time. And that's why I think the disconnect comes from me from those days. I lived through it, so I could relate to it. You know, and I wasn't trying to be nothing, something I wasn't. You know, nowadays it seems like they're trying to just make a buck out of it. Like to me, it was more like they did it for the art, and then the money came kind of as like as a welcome, like a offshoot of it. You know, and now they're just like it's not art for them. It's just they're trying to make a buck and trying to push the boundaries as far as they can just to make more money.
All facts, all facts. I wanted to ask y'all this, man. Kind of getting back to the music, and you know, in your opinion, coming from those 80s and 90s, man, who were some of the underrated guys that really didn't get the credit they deserve? Had a big impact, but really didn't get that credit. And who would y'all say the most underrated would be? We're gonna start with my brother All Positive, spin the block, and open it back up as always.
Well, as far as the 80s is concerned, I'd have to say Cool G Rap, because Cool G Rap is right there with Rakim and Kane as far as lyricism, right there. All of them are 10 out of 10. But Cool G Rap never, because Rakim had gold records. Kane got a Grammy. Kane was on records with it's really two people. Kane was on. Actually, I'm gonna change that whole thing because Cool G Rap does get some credit. I'm gonna tell you who gets no credit. Jaz-O doesn't get any credit. And Jaz-O, let me tell you about Jaz-O. When Jaz-O came out, everybody started biting Jaz-O style. When Jaz-O came out, even because it came out his first album, Word of Jazz. And then did a couple albums. Then you saw Big Daddy Kane started rhyming like Jaz-O a little bit. He was on the song Feels Like Another One with Patti LaBelle. And he also the song Enough Respect on the Juice soundtrack. Big Daddy Kane never rhymed like that. You know, the 80 rhyming. Then you heard LL Cool J 92 on a song Why Me Baby with Keith Sweat rhyming like Jaz-O. Then you see Daz Effects come out rhyming like Jaz-O. So Jaz-O changes his style, slows it down. Then Jay-Z changes his style, slows down. And Jay-Z sounds exactly like Jaz-O. Listen to Jaz-O in the 90s and listen to Jay-Z now. That is Jaz-O style. And Jaz-O was his mentor. But Jaz-O gets no credit. And that man innovated a lot of stuff in the 80s. And as far as the 90s, oh man, someone that don't get credit. I'll probably have to say J. Rue, because J. Rue, in my opinion, released one of the best albums of 94. And all anybody talks about almost 30 years later is Illmatic. When Sunrise in the East, and his second album, The Wrath of the Math, those are great albums. But J. Rue gets no credit to me. J. Rue is a dope rapper, dope beats, and he just gets no credit. But that was it.
I ain't mad at it. Real quick, man. I got the OG, the big homie in the building, man. Uncle Rick, what's going on? Welcome to the panel. You know it's nothing but love and respect. Opening question to join the panel tonight, man. Your earliest memories of hip hop, and then you hear the question after that. who you think most underrated in the 80s and the 90s? Welcome to the panel, my brother.
What's good? What's good? Shout out to my bros, Crush and the Jet. What's happening? Peace, everybody else. Peace to the guys and goddesses. What's
going
good? Man, hip hop.
Oh,
Man.
W, what it do?
What's good with you, boy? Man, hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I still love her. You know what I'm saying? My first initiation with hip hop was, of course, the Sugar Hill Gang playing on the Techniques 1200. You know what I'm saying? It was at my brother's grandmama's house. Was the first time I heard it. I was like, "What was that?" You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy, man. They played it like 8 times because it was hot. It had just got hot in the shot. It had been hot in New York for like a year already, though. But that's the first time I heard it, and after that, I was in love with it, man. You know, in Chicago, you had WGCI and WBMX. That's where they started playing hip hop at, man. And I remember when I bought my first hip hop tape, man, Public Enemy, bro, Fear of a Black Planet. Boy, man, it was a good time, man. Underrated in the 90s, I'm gonna say, because the 80s really, you know, I wasn't that deep in it, right? The 90s, I would say late 80s, early 90s. To me, Heavy D is underrated. Of course,
How you steal my thunder?
Of course, you know, I call my boy Crush the greatest man alive. You know what I'm saying? That's EST and them boys. They was dope, 3 times dope. Like New York was serious, boy. New York was serious with hip hop, killing the game. Kwame, who else? D Nice, of course, the Blastmaster KRS-One. If I want to be super honest about the group that really don't get enough credit at how they changed to define hip hop, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. 8 Ball and MJG, I think they don't get nowhere near enough credit for how they changed the game and, you know, really first kicked the door open for the South. They try to say, you know, Scarface and them did it with the horror rap, but as far as that gangster pimp shit, 8 Ball, MJG, lay it down, bro. They told her they was tearing the streets up for a couple of summers, man. And don't nobody ever talk about them. And they did it back in the days, man. But yeah, that's what I got, man.
I ain't mad at that, Rick. I ain't mad at it at all. Same question, Harris. I know you said he stole your thunder. And then we pass it around like always. Go ahead, Harrison.
Yeah, man, I'm a big dude. So for me, back in the 80s, I always thought the most underrated rapper was Heavy D, because he could spit it, he could dance, he had the ladies in videos and dancing. Like, to me, Heavy D was he was that dude. So for me, in the 80s, the most underrated, hands down. You could make an argument. I could make an argument for KRS-One or Public Enemy as well. But to me, Heavy D, definitely. I was like, no, don't say that. That was my dude. But anyway, in the 90s, I think it's between as a solo artist. I think it's starting to happen now for him, where he's getting appreciated. But I think Busta Rhymes was probably the most underappreciated solo artist of the 90s. And then as a group, Outkast, because they, oh my God, like, yeah, people like casuals don't it's almost like boxing. Casuals don't understand how great ATLians was. Like, they just don't. They just don't understand that.
Yeah, even Southern Playalistic, you know what I'm saying? Southern Playalistic.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
I got stopped at the mall the other day.
The speaker box from the Love Below. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
they got a diamond album. They sold 10 million records on one album.
You feel me?
Shit. But as far as the 90s, who I think was really underrated, bro, is Ghostface Killer.
Damn, Ricky. Oh my God, that's who I was gonna say. My
Ghostface
underrated
Killer,
person
Iron
was
Man, boy. That man, woo. Tony Stark's boy.
Let me get in on this, man. I think I don't have a lot like for the 80s, but like I said, I don't know a lot about the 80s rap. Before the 90s go, my most underrated is a group, you know what I'm saying? And it's the Bone Thugs and Harmony. I think they was killing it, bro. I think they dropped hit after hit after hit. Most of their songs that you can go back is classics, like Bone Thugs and Harmony. You can go right now among young teenagers and put Bone Thugs and Harmony on, and they will not change it. That's how ahead of the game they was, you know. So that's my most underrated for the 90s.
Bro, I rock with Bone Thugs, bro. Bone Thugs, I remember what was Crossroads when it first came out, the video and everything. I was young at the time. I was with one of my partners or one of the older fellas, you know what I'm saying, and watching it, Uncle Charles in that thing, man. He hit him with the in the forehead, his eyes turned black, bro. I just, bro, it was so scary because I was so young, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, it really like I rock with Bone Thugs tough, bro. I rock with them tough.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, the 80s, man, Too Short, definitely my underrated. Too Short, 80s, everybody bumping that back. Because he was the first one like hit it with the 808. And then when you hit the 808, you hear that boom. And then he was talking about, you know what he was talking about, but mine for the 80s, Too Short for sure. 90s, I gotta go with Luke, man. I gotta go. Man, Luke with the court for us.
Yeah, he did.
Man, they was trying to take what he was doing. Like, man, come on, Luke went to court for a lot of us, man.
Yeah,
man. So those my two 80s, Too Short, 90s, Luke. Then nobody even care about Luke. Except the girls though. The girls though. He brought the girls out though.
I like that Band in the USA album. I remember I saw 2 Live Crew concert and I told Fresh Kid Ice, I like that album. He's like, I ain't like that album. He told me he didn't like that album.
That man went to court for us, bro. Like they was trying to ban that, bro.
Right. Hey, Crush, man, what you got on it? Most underrated or most underrated, Crush?
Man, for the 80s, for me, it's Kool G Rap, man. And the reason why I say Kool G Rap because, for one, Kane, you know, being the highlight cat from the Juice Crew along with Biz and Shantae, but more so Kane because they was pushing him as the poster cat for the face of the Juice Crew. So they went a lot into Kane, which his albums as he went, they got bad, and Kool G Rap was still putting out quality albums. Kool G Rap also one of the most underrated because when you talk about storytelling, this man got to be in your top 5 if you know hip hop and you talk about storytelling. Also, he's underrated because he don't get credit because he was the first guy that was talking all that fly shit. You know, as far as the females wearing minks and this, that, and the other, Kool G Rap was talking that. And his storytelling is very underrated, man. You listen to some Kool G Rap stuff outside of his first 2 albums, man. He really got some stories, and he was very diverse cat too. He got one of the most sampled hip hop songs that's a part of one of the biggest R&B hits of all time with Bell Biv DeVoe with the Poison shit.
He never got paid for that.
Exactly. And then when you talk about you gotta go with underrated with Kool G Rap, Road to the Riches. Come on, man. Who was talking like that on wax before Road to the Riches? Give me somebody. I'll be about 65 before you come up with a lie. Like this, he was ahead of his time, man. Kool G Rap is the most underrated to me in the 80s. When it comes to the 90s, wow, the 90s is that era, man. The 90s, we can go forever. So many. But I'm gonna go with a group. Most underrated, I'm gonna go with Leaders of the New School. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. The reason why I say Leaders of the New School is the most underrated group of the 90s because when you talk about native tongue, nobody really comes up with Leaders of the New School, who is an essential instrumental part of the native tongue. Then I have to go against my man when he say Busta is one of the most underrated. Nah, this man was smashing shit in the 90s. I would say Busta is one of the most influential cats among the cats in the 90s. Man, you forgot this man was killing your award shows with the videos, and he was probably one of the most consistent artists with banger at the banger at the banger at the banger. He was the only male that you could back then with all the males that was hitting that you could say can go for song with the legendary Mr. Elliott, who had the 90s on smash.
What it is, man.
Trying to tell y'all something if y'all overlooked it. I'm
What's
trying
that?
to tell you, man. Leaders of the new school, for me, most underrated because they don't get credit for being a part of the native tongue. And shout out to Charlie Brown. What happened to Charlie Brown from Leaders of the New School? He's probably one of the most overlooked MCs all time because that style that Busta has, that didn't just come from Bust. That was Bust and my man CB Brown. That's all I got, man. Y'all can go and rock on.
Same question, Piro. It's on you. Then we going. I know my brother Five. He was gonna take Scarface, but we going to Piro 5 and then the panel open. Y'all cook.
I mean, for me, it all depends who you ask. Like, if you ask some of my homeboys that are really into rap in those days, like they'll probably think I'm crazy. But I mean, like for me, like a very underrated, like from back in the day, like Digital Underground. Like, I mean, everybody gives them props, and for a fact they're awesome. But when you start bringing like if you ask them who's most influential or whatever, like that they're usually not on the top of most people's list, but they're very influential for me, especially they're one of the first groups I listened to. But also, I think when it comes to that question, I think the female rappers are always underrated for the '80s, like MC Light, Lady Rage, stuff like that. I think they never get their props, especially because they're women and stuff like that. But yeah, man, and for me, when it comes for underrated, I always think of those groups that everybody knows, but nobody like really puts them on like top of many lists.
I like that.
That was dope.
That was dope.
I ain't mad at it, man. Five, what you got? I know you were gonna say Scarface. Rick, Uncle Rick, he already took that one. So what you got?
I would say Ghostface, but shit, Scarface was underrated though. I say
damn.
Somebody name probably ain't nobody even think about. I think Tila was underrated in the name. A lot of people that probably don't even. Tila.
Don't know.
I remember Tila.
Girls in the club.
Oh shit! Okay, Tila. All right, I got
yeah. I remember.
All right.
80 shit. I gotta go with shit. I agree with you on that, Crush. Cause the reason I know about some of this stuff, cause shit, my uncles them used to jam this shit. So I was young. I used to be like, what's that? You know what I'm saying? You hear some shit like, man, what's that? And then they start. I say if it wasn't him, if it wasn't Cool G, I say maybe Spice One.
Okay. Shout out to Spice One, who also was rolling out with
I want to change my pick. I want to change my pick for the most underrated MC.
Go ahead.
LL Cool J, man.
Mm-hmm.
LL Cool J changed the game, bro.
Yeah.
Ladies love Cool James, man. Like, how many summers he have on Smash in the 90s, y'all? Consistent.
Damn it all.
I still play that doing it. Doing it
well.
Girl still go.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
LL, I think,
God, man.
like LL, like right now, man. I think he doing an album right now. He got an album coming out soon, man. So we gonna see if he's still doing his thing, bro.
Yeah, I spoke on him being one of the most influential, Rick. Before
Yeah. I'm biting your shit, bro. I'm biting your shit, though.
Man, go ahead. Since we've been talking, I hadn't heard a couple of groups that I'm a huge fan of come up. And I want to hear y'all thoughts on them. First being Wu-Tang, second being Mobb Deep. I mean, the names speak for themselves. You know, they but I hadn't heard them come up in the conversation so far. Break it down.
Mob Deep.
Wu-Tang is not underrated.
We talked about we said
I
Wu-Tang
got
too.
something to say about Wu-Tang though. I guess Wu-Tang's not a group; they're a conglomerate.
Yeah,
you
they're
see what I'm
not-
saying?
yes.
They're
You
not
know
really
they-
a
yeah,
group;
right.
they're a conglomerate. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like
They're like the Wayans.
Right, you know what I'm saying? They just a bunch of dudes that could like a group to me is like Outkast or De La Soul or Leaders of the New School. You know what I'm saying? Like Wu-Tang is just a man. Wu-Tang
Yeah, family full of rich niggas.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
ain't
yeah.
nobody said UGK. I'm surprised nobody said UGK by now.
UGK. Nah, I was gonna say
had that in the
I just
clip,
named
bro.
the individuals like artists, but like A-Ball, MJG, UGK, like
oh man,
very underrated. Like between A-Ball, MJG, UGK, and goddamn Outkast, the South, we was good.
Oh my God.
We was good. Then you throw in Cash Money and No Limit.
Remember the Young Bloods too, G5. Remember the Young Bloods went hard too.
Oh shit,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Young Blood. Oh,
Young
yeah,
Bloods, yeah.
85 South, boy.
I remember when I first got I used to hear about this. When Super Tight came out, UGK. I was like 17 when I got to see it. And I remember I got to see it. And look, don't blame me for it. It was just I was real big in the East Coast and West Coast hip hop. So don't look. I changed my perception on Bob. I first heard. I was on a Saturday. I got the Super Tight CD, and I listened to it, and I'm like, this is the worst sounding album I've ever heard in my life. It's garbage. But it took me a few years to realize, like, hey, they don't sound like the East Coast. They don't sound like West, but they got their own thing. And that's around the time when Master P came. Master P had been out, but I first heard Master P in '96, and a lot of people didn't like it. I'm like, look, they got their own thing. We gotta respect it for who they are.
I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand.
I started
Master
respecting
P, bro.
UGK, and I started respecting
Man.
more Southern rappers. So I just felt bad. I always felt that way about UGK when I first heard.
When Murder dropped, Murder. Oh my
UGK
God.
is the shit.
Oh my
man.
God. When Murder dropped, man.
Wood Wheel. I mean,
I think we all forgetting about one group that kind of ran that era, and lyrically, I don't even think nobody want to get up on the versus stage versus them, because we saw what happened when Dipset did it, and that group is the
LOX.
The Lox. Yeah.
Well, look, I'm be honest.
I'm just mentioning them, but I'm gonna throw them out there against what Doug was saying with
I
Mobb
can't
Deep.
do it. I
Lox,
can't do it. I can't do it.
cheated in
It's
the-
Jada.
in
It's not
that
the
versus.
Locks. It's Jada.
They
Let's keep
cheated
it a
in that Lox.
bean.
Look,
Let's keep it a bean. It's Jada. It ain't the Locks.
if you
They all cool. Nah, they all well. At least two of them is dope.
That
Styles
Styles
go
P is
hard,
a
man.
motherfucker, man.
if you really want to
Yeah.
get about it,
Styles P a beast.
the Lox don't have more hits than Dipset. I mean, I'm not talking about songs that featured on other people's songs. I'm talking about just their songs. They don't have more hits than the Dipset got on the Dipset album. Now, I'm not saying
Did you not see that versus? They murdered them.
no, but they're not using. I'm talking about their songs. I'm not talking about songs Jada was featured on.
But hey, true be told,
Lyrics is lyrics.
Hey, but true be
I'm
told,
Bars are bars.
I'm just
yo,
saying,
Sheik Luch killed All About the Benjamins though. Sheik Luch.
but that's not a Lox song.
I mean, I'm just saying, like nobody remembers Sheik Luch, but on the song All About the Benjamins, Sheik Luch came with he was spitting, man.
Shit, Lil Kim came harder than all of them niggas.
Well, yeah, Lil Kim, she was hot though. That baby did good though. She did.
Yeah,
good.
but she didn't write a verse though.
We know.
Yeah, nah, she ain't right.
You know why she came the hardest, Rick?
I know, bro. I know.
She sure rapped it though.
Yes, he did.
Rapped the shit out of it.
Yeah, she
A lot
did,
of
she
ghostwriters,
did.
bro. There's a lot of ghostwriters.
I tell you what to do with those lyrics.
She rapped.
Yeah,
the shit
yeah,
out of them
definitely,
motherfuckers.
definitely.
She was hard, though.
Hey man, when it comes to let's female rappers.
Ooh.
I'm
Let's
gonna
get
go
it.
with the 90s.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm gonna ask y'all a question about the rappers in the 90s. I'm gonna name 5. Y'all tell me who's the top out of this 5. Yeah, Foxy Brown.
Nah.
Nah, you said you gonna name
90s.
five.
Talking 90s.
Yes, sir.
Foxy Brown, Lil Kim, Rod Digger, Lady of Rage, and I would say her, but y'all know about her. So I'm gonna give y'all this one, and cause she was still rocking some stuff in the 90s.
Say less, Rod Digger. I said say less, Rod
Who was
Digger.
the last one? Who was the last one?
Hold on, yeah. Let him give us the last one.
Y'all
Okay,
got.
he didn't say the last. Yeah.
We didn't hear the last choice.
You started breaking up, Chris. We didn't hear the last one.
Rod Digger. All right. Who you got, Bob?
Now say the last one, because we didn't hear the last one, bro.
It was. I run it back again. It's Queen Latifah, Lil Kim. That was
Foxy
Queen Latifah.
Brown.
Queen Latifah.
That was the last one.
Okay, y'all go ahead, man. I'll wait my time.
No, the thing is about female rappers.
Yeah.
Rappers like Foxy Brown and Lil Kim, I kind of disqualify them from the best female rapper argument because they had ghostwriters. And that's not fair when you got Jay-Z and Biggie writing your rhymes. And so when you have a female rapper like Antoinette and Bahamadia, they're writing their own rhymes. You know, because Antoinette was seen as the female rock.
What you know about Antoinette Bahamadia, man?
Antoinette, they're my two favorite female rappers.
Bahamadia, my homegirl from Philly too.
I love Bahamadia, man. I love. You know, her son was on that runway show. He's on seamstress. I don't know if that's a call.
Yeah.
But that's what he does. He makes clothes.
Yeah.
He said, so those two out. Yeah.
You know, they gotta be out. They gotta be out, man. And the same with Queen Latifah because guys are writing her rhymes too. For her. I mean,
Flavor Unit.
I love Queen Latifah, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta be fair, man. You gotta be fair.
Shit,
who you picking? Who you picking?
Well, my name, I say
I put that together for a certain reason. I said those names for a certain reason, and he's breaking it down.
I got my pick, bro.
All right.
I got my pick, bro.
Go ahead, get your picks off.
I'm going with Lady of Rage, bro. Lady of Rage. Man, y'all better listen to Show Shot. That's like the rawest Show Shot is like the rawest female shit I done heard forever, bro. For real. Show Shot, she go for 3 minutes with bars, straight heat, burners. Boy, man, Rage is tough, bro. Rage is tough. I like Rod Digger too, but she, you know, her flow kind of generic. You know what I'm saying? Her flow, but Rod Digger, man, bro, listen to Show Shot when y'all get done with this. Y'all see what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, y'all got me thinking with that.
Rage, nice.
What was the question? Was it the top female rapper?
Yeah, I say, man, because that's who I was juggling them to. Lady of Rage and Queen Latifah for number one.
Nobody mentioned Lauryn Hill?
Nah, he didn't
put it in the category.
We still got some more. It's still some more to go, so I ain't want to throw everybody in one list.
So I go Queen, Lady of Rage, Foxy Brown, Lil Kim, Rod Digger.
Go ahead, Bureau.
So like my top 5 or whatever. I would say the top one. I would agree with Lady of Rage, Miss Melody, Queen Latifah. Even though they were a group, JJ Fad was badass back in the day. Like I said, Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott.
They wasn't on the list though.
Hey, no, they wasn't in the first group.
Hey man, so what you got?
I didn't hear the question. That's what I was asking before. Like, what was the question?
You know that's good because they was gonna be in the next group of females.
No, I got because I feel Piro, man. Like, because hey, first female rapper I like was Gangsta Boo. That was mine. Yeah, but Rod, I like Rod, man. I'm gonna put it as my number one. And then y'all fuck me up with the other. I can't give it to him because that ain't no fair. So I'm gonna give it to Rod. I'm gonna put Rod at my number one for female. But Gangsta Boo is the one I really just first female. Like I didn't think female rappers could rap. I mean I did, because I couldn't rock to it in the car. But then when I heard Gangsta Boo with 3-6,
man,
I was rocking to it. Mm-hmm.
Boy,
Well,
nigga, Gangsta Boo and Mia X. Mia X was a fool too.
Did you go? Did you go 5? I was about to throw another one in. You got Mia X.
Man,
what about Eve, bro? Nobody ain't. What about Eve, bro? I was a huge fan of Eve.
Yeah.
Eve, she goes on it. She goes on the list with Fox because once she got signed, she stopped writing her shit. Now before she got signed, when she was running around in Philly, she was writing her own shit. But once she got on, it ain't but so many females in hip hop who was writing their own shit. It's only a very few. Bahamadia, Mia X, Rage, Antoinette, what's the fucking light skinned girl name?
MC Light went on.
MC Light.
MC Light with her own shit.
Actually, her brother Milk wrote her first album. Her brother Milk.
Yeah,
he wrote her first album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Brooks, what you got on it, bro?
As far as lyricists, Rod Digger or what's the other girl? Rod Digger or Lady of Rage? Because I heard some of their stuff when they were like underground, and they would embarrass men. So Lady of Rage or Rod Digger as far as lyrics, but as far as impact or influence, gotta be Missy Elliott. She is the outcast of women's rapping, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Missy something else. Missy Elliott is the LL Cool J of female rappers, if that makes any sense when you really think about it. Look how she started out, and she can sing her ass off too. Let's not leave that out. Very, very talented, but once she let the world know that she more than just on a hook, man, and she was coming with some shit, and she was killing freestyles, and she had Club Banger at the Club Banger, had everyone on the dance floor, and everybody singing her lyrics, man, male, female, whatever. Her and Lauryn Hill probably.
Who got the keys to the Jeep?
Man, I'm putting Lauryn Hill up against all of them. Lauryn, when she spit that, what is that? You might win some, but you just lost one. That the verses she was spitting bars on that one, man. Like
hell
she
of a talent,
man.
It's one of my favorite albums of all time.
That Miseducation album.
I love it.
Her boy say she was in her bag, boy. I said, yeah, she cold. She cold.
I didn't hear none of y'all say the Brat.
Oh yeah. She started rapping too fast, though, man.
She wrote a lot of her shit.
She really did, though. That is true, though. That is true.
She even wrote for other rappers.
Who, the Brat?
Yeah.
Funkified is still one of my favorites.
I still cold.
Shit.
Yeah, Brat cold.
I remember that. Cold. Y'all remember the box?
The music box.
Yeah.
Music box.
I paid like $3.20 to hear Funkified like 8 times, bro. Shout out to Brat, man. Yeah, much love, boo boo.
Yeah, my buddy was in love with her. I remember that shit. You never shut up about her.
I get
Brat bad too.
She was pretty good.
That was killing for it.
Yeah. She yeah, the brat was yeah, she was tight, and she fuck up some ciphers too, cause she would really get on some joints with the fellas and hold on and even outshine some of those cats. But let's talk about this. Now we done got by on the beginning who we first heard, and you know, some of the groups and MCs that we like or whatever. Now I heard everybody talking about albums and things like that. We talked about albums, but what about this part? And this is my favorite part, because this is where we used to find out where these rappers was actually rappers or MCs. When we talk about freestyling, we're not talking about a written rhyme with no untitled. I'm not talking about an untitled, because see, that's where people get freestyling twisted at. See, people don't realize that a lot of times those cats really don't be freestyling. They just be saying some untitled shit, a rhyme with no damn title to it. But I mean, straight off the top of they dome, not putting pieces from this rap, you know, to that rap, straight off the top and on it. And we was able to see these artists showcase themselves on Yo MTV Raps, the basement, where it's really what displayed that. In your opinion, who you give me some of your top straight, and you know that they straight up freestyle. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna give y'all one. KRS-One.
All
right. This is probably one of the best freestylers out of the true freestylers that I actually seen, because he actually does this shit from off the top of his head. The first time I actually seen him do it when he actually came to Philly back in the day when they first came out with the Criminal Minded album. And he was like, whoa. This is what he said. He said, whoa. Let me set the record straight. Let me show y'all how I do this outside the songs. And this dude freestyle, dog, damn near everything that his eyes can see in the Philadelphia Spectrum at the time, which is the Wells Fargo Center now. It was the Spectrum. Anything that his eyes can see in that fucking stadium, bro, he freestyled that shit. And I was like, okay, yeah, this he couldn't have wrote this shit down. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's probably one of the best freestylers that I actually heard.
Man.
All positive. Give me one.
I have three, but it's one in particular. And I've had a show with this guy too. I've seen him. I got pictures of him. Took with him years ago. But I chose Supernatural and Craig G, because they're dope off the top freestyle. But there's this guy called Icon the Mic King, and you can look him up on YouTube. Like I said, I have pictures and video footage of when I was at a show with him, and he did it and all that stuff. But he would blindfold them, so he would tell everybody in the crowd to give objects to someone. They'll put all these objects in a bag or whatever, and he'll blindfold himself and he'll freestyle the objects. He's pulling them out the bag to try to guess what they are off the top of his head. So
shit!
Icon the Mic King. If you look him up on YouTube, he's a dope cat, man. I know that brother. Okay. I think he's from Philly. I think he's from Philly too. But like, he wasn't really known. He was like an underground dude. Yeah, Icon the Mic King.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
cool.
Hey, what was his name? All positive.
Icon the Mic King.
Icon the Mic King. I got
He
you.
came down here and did a show in North Carolina, and I got to kick it with him one night.
Man,
Mr. Harrison, who you got, bro? Got anybody?
Actually, I got Chuck D, and it's because of an experience similar to what you had. I saw Chuck D at college. I went to he did like a speaking engagement at like Lebanon Valley College here in PA. And when I saw his name, I was like, I don't care where I'm at, what podunk white area that is, I'm going to that. And I went, and he started the talk off with like a 2-minute freestyle about everything that he had engaged in since he came to that college. And it was like, yeah, had to take this long road to this crazy ass place out in the woods and the farms with the corn but he was killing it. And I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah, it was one of those moments where I got to talk to him after the show just because I had the opportunity, and that shit was dope.
Hey, it's funny that you say Chuck D, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna go back and cross-reference this, but they debut album, Bum Rush the Show, I think the song Time Bomb was a freestyle, dog. But yeah, he can freestyle. He had showed it here and there. Fizzle, who you got?
Murdered that shit. He had like, I'm gonna tell you, Lebanon Valley College, I was probably one of three black people in a room of 400 people. I swear to you. And he had the whole room like just feeding off of everything that he said for those. Oh my God, it was amazing.
What college was it?
I think it was I'm pretty sure it was Lebanon Valley College. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Lebanon Valley College. I know it was I'm pretty sure Lebanon Valley College.
Okay. Sure. It's out in Pennsylvania, you said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this was years ago. This was maybe 10 years ago.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's a branch campus for Penn State, I think. Somewhere up around that way.
I believe so, something like that. Yeah, it's somewhere in that area. Yeah. And I believe they do Penn State courses as well. Yeah. But yeah, I saw him on the sheet and I was like, oh, I'm gonna act like a student. I'm going.
Yo, man, I'm about to be out, man. Yo, I wanted to say I got Luda for my freestyle. I heard him in person, man.
Hell fucking yeah, good one, Swad. Yeah, Luda, yeah.
Yeah, Luda off the top of the head. Luda can he's going, man. And then I gotta throw my boy Beans in there, Beanie Siegel, man. Beanie Siegel off the top of the head.
Oh man, I know Beans, man. I know Beans. Right up the street from me.
Beans can go, man. Hey, much love to y'all, man. Yo, I had such a good ass time, man. I'm halfway drunk. Shit, I gotta go, man. Love y'all, man.
Take it easy, brother.
Hey, much love, Swat, man. You know you always welcome, brother. Hey, man, give me your last words. Anything else you want to plug, put on, anything like that before you ride?
I just before I go, man. Yo, this is what it's about, man. Dub, you know what I call you, man. That's AKA the glue. Dub keep the community coming together, man. Being respectable, and just us being to come up here as bros and show love and exchange just dialogue. I just want to say to everybody, man, promote that. If you find yourself destroying that, just take a step back, man. Think about what this shit is. Ain't none of this shit personal, man. It's just a moment for us to come together. So I'm just gonna say, Dub, man, as always, much love, man, and I always pray for you. You my dude, aka the glue. Yo, man, it ain't no better dude to do this than what you're doing, man. So G5, my bros, Harrison, Crush, Puro, all positive. Yo, man, salute to y'all, peace and blessings, man. Love y'all.
Pleasure.
Appreciate you, brother.
Peace out, man.
Good night, brother.
Be safe out there now.
Yeah, man.
Hey, real quick, on the Crush point, man. Man, I was gonna go with Luda myself since he picked Luda. I'm gonna switch it up, bro. I'm gonna go with Method Man, bro. Method Man he had some crazy things off the dome. You know what I'm saying? So I was always a huge fan of Method, and so that's who I have to go with. Go ahead,
man. I got Lil Wayne.
Oh shit, that's a good one too. Damn.
I got Weed.
Yeah.
It was. I had a couple people of mine. Some people saying some names, but you talk about just go off the dome. That man still doing it. Like if you gotta go make yourself right, like that's different. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different ball game. You gotta make yourself right.
Lil Wayne is disrespectful with the off the top shit. Hell yeah, he's going with that. Eminem is another one. Off the top, he's another one too. that's real good off the top of his head.
My other one was my favorite rapper, Rakim.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. That's my son's
Legendary,
favorite.
right?
Yeah. Redman is another one who's good off the top of his head too. Beans.
Biggie.
That's what I was gonna say. Biggie.
Oh, yeah. Biggie is crazy too. Shit. Andre 3000, homie. Don't get it twisted. What? Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Man, he got it. It's one of those old mixtapes. He did a mixtape, dog, and I think he
this freestyle.
when he ripped up the either the Bad Boy beats or it was either he did like a Bad Boy medley beat. He's crazy too. He's crazy too. He's probably lyrically one of the best guys from the South, in my opinion, man. Like hands down, he's one of the best lyricists to ever come out the South. Is Andre 3000. Definitely a one-on-one guy. Yeah, he's crazy with that shit too, man. Yeah, I like Andre. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Coming up, I didn't have cable or anything like that, so I couldn't watch like Yo MTV Rap, so all those like Pioneer shows and stuff like that. So like freestyle is kind of hard for me because like I heard from like word of mouth or like for Biggie, like I would have said I seen like the videos of him like being on the corners and and just freestyling. But I remember my buddies, they're a little bit older than me. They said that Big Daddy Kane back in the day, like he was very respected for his freestyles.
Yeah, Kane was a hell of a cat freestyling too.
Hey, Crush, I wanted to ask you about two Philly cats, bro.
Go ahead,
so
bro.
When you got and when Five brought up Wayne, Gilly the Kid, one of the individuals that came to mind, and then I love Cassidy as well. You know what I'm saying? You being from Philly, man, what's your thoughts on those two guys, man?
Respectfully, Gilly nice. He can rap. He's Philly wise, he's probably top 10. But Cassidy probably one of the best battle rappers, period. And when it comes to battle rapping, Cassidy, he's bodied a whole lot of cats in the battle rap. He's not that good as a recorded artist, as far as making songs, but far as straight up raw spit, Cassidy is dope. Gilly, he got a hell of a flow. His penmanship is awesome too, because a lot of people don't know, he wrote the first Carter, and most of it. A lot of people don't know about that. He probably spoke about it on one of his episodes on $1 Million Worth of Game, but Gilly was messing around with Baby and them for a minute, and he wrote the first Carter, which is one of Lil Wayne's best works out of a lot of his work, and all classics out of all his classics. So shout out to Gilly with that. But speaking on Gilly, when so around the 90s when these guys came out, which I say the 90s is lovely because it was so competitive and so hot all over the place, from the South to the West to the Midwest to the East Coast. It was just competitive, man. Everybody was doing their thing. Beans and Gilly was like Errol Spence and fucking Bud Crawford in the city, and everybody was, on different and behind these guys, or who was the best two guys, all that. They've been on freestyles together and stuff like that. But if you ask me personally, like bar for bar, going down the stretch, I got Beans. I got Beans, and I know Pete Beans personally. He always been a hell of a freestyler because he started out like that. He used to just be freestyling. Like I said at the beginning of my conversation, everybody was freestyling. Even if you didn't cipher you rapped in some sort of way because you had to learn how to talk. So female had to have her game ready to respond to a dude when he stepped to her, and vice versa. So everybody has some rap, and you always wanted to be the person that left a stink on everybody's mind with something that you said, because back then, the reason why I say everyone was rapping, even if you wasn't rapping, everybody was roasting. That was the thing, roasting, getting cooked, getting bust on about your ugly ass family members and all that. All that shit was back, it took, it played a big part in that. So it just kept everybody sharpened for those who decided to go on and start putting it behind a beat and everything. Hey man, starting just from everyday conversations, just roasting and just talking shit, because that's all rapping is talking shit, is an ego trip. You see what I'm saying? Or you tripping on somebody, you know what I mean? You either roasting a motherfucker or bigging yourself up. Yep. And yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, Beans is and he was a roaster, you know what I mean? One of those dudes, soon you see him, he gonna throw a bus at you and all that, and that's how it was. But yeah, he can freestyle his ass off, so he's definitely dope, and I love that. But one person, we've been talking this whole time, and I should slap myself, because even speaking on Philly and just overall, I have not mentioned Black Thought. Yeah, I did not mention Black Thought. Goddamn, and Black Thought is one of the illest MCs ever known.
Hold on. Now, before you get into it, Crush, because I want to.
I gotta go, brother.
Hey, shout out to you, Piro. Give me your last words, real quick, Piro. You're always welcome over here, brother. What you got for me?
For sure. No, thanks for having me, Dub. It was a great conversation, man. Like shit, man. That's the only hip hop I listen to anymore. It's the 80s and 90s shit, that I grew up on. But yeah, thanks for having me. And I also wanted to throw this one out from back to the topic a couple minutes ago about the most underrated. I don't think they're underrated, but I think they're overlooked. Is Cypress Hill? They're like credited like starting stoner rap, but yeah, Cypress Hill. I wanted to shout them out.
Man, Piro, man, I appreciate you, bro, and thank you for coming through, man.
No, thank you, Dub, man. Peace to everybody, man. God bless.
Peace.
All right. Hey, real quick, man, we got my brother Jerome King in the building. You know what I'm saying? He just joined the panel. Welcome to the platform, my brother. You're welcome over here. Nothing but love and respect. First question for you to jump on tonight, man. Your earliest memory of hip hop, and then you take it where you want to, Jerome. I see you in the comments.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, for sure. Salute to everybody. I'm not going to be on here long. I just heard y'all talking about rap, which is a music period, which is my favorite subject outside of boxing. But my earliest memory of hip hop, I would definitely say is hearing first time I heard "Walk This Way" by Run DMC. First time I heard that, I think I was only like 5 years old. And I was like, wait, Aerosmith and Run DMC? I was like, whoa. I mean, that was so unique and it was so different. That was my very first memory. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, and then as far as underrated artists, I mean, there are so many. There's so many to name. Like, my personal opinion, one that I said in the comments is very underrated is E40. I mean, this is a guy, if you really think about it, he was the very first guy to be independent. So, you know what I'm saying? He provided a whole movement. I mean, really, if you think about it, Master P got his game from E40's uncle. That's where he learned his game about being independent and being a businessman from E40's uncle. So they paved the way. So very, very underrated is E40. You know what I'm saying? So, and then as far as freestyles go, I mean, this is a man whose career is freestyles. Big L. What's forgetting about Big L? Like, that man, his career is freestyle. That's his career. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and but that's pretty much what I wanted to say, man. And then I'm gonna go ahead and jump off, but I had to mention Big L, man. you know what I'm saying, one of the greats, you know what I'm saying, he was gone too soon. But,
Mhm.
you know, I had to mention him. But I'm out of here, y'all. And enjoy the rest of y'all night.
Hey man, we
Hey, good one,
appreciate it, bro.
Jerome King, man. I'm glad you did that. Before you go, I don't like to try to cover everything, so I'm glad you brought up Big L because you wouldn't have a Papoose and a few other cats without Big L. You see what I'm saying? So shout out for that, bringing up Big L, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Peace out to everybody.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I mentioned him. That's why I had to mention him. As soon as I came on the panel, I know
Yeah,
these artists,
Bob hit
but
it with that digging in the crates, man. Hell yeah.
these, like you got a combination of like, golly, like that would had to be a hell of a time to live in. See, I wasn't old enough to like remember the '80s, like how everybody, like how y'all was kicking like a knee in the boot doing that bitch. You know what I'm saying? I came through the '90s.
I gotta ask, man. All positive. I know. Once again, shout out to UN. If it weren't for y'all, we wouldn't even had this conversation. It's been a hell of a conversation. I want to make sure, man. I know you asked for it, and so were there any other points you was looking to touch on? All positive.
Oh, I mean, I think we touched on almost everything, man. It's like I wanted to I wanted to ask everyone about their favorite concert, hip hop concert they attended. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of us here has been to a lot, but and I want to ask Crush one thing too. You from Philly and you talked about knowing Beans, so you know Cosmic Kev then.
Cosmic Kev, yeah, I knew Cosmic Kev when Cosmic Kev was, Kev from back in the day. So he was out there cutting back there with Jazzy Jeff and all these other Philly legends. Yeah, yep.
I used to go to Philly and get them Cosmic Kev mixtape CDs. I still got them from over 20 plus years ago. I still got the original ones that I got from Philly. I never got rid of them.
Wow, you got some classics then, bro.
Yeah, remember when Beans got signed to Rockefeller, he came with a Best of Beanie mixtape. I still got that one.
You still got you got a classic right there. You're gonna be able to auction that motherfucker another 20 years, man. That's a classic. Speaking of Cosmic Kev, man, what besides, people knowing Cosmic Kev for being on Power 99, give y'all quick something about Cosmic Kev, the actual DJ, not the air personality DJ. Cosmic Kev has some of the fastest pair of hands I've seen on DJs, on any DJ, and this is no cap. This dude, that was one of his strengths when he was DJing, and it was hard to beat this dude and cutting and scratching because the fucking hands is like Muhammad Ali fast on the turntables. Kev was nasty, bro. He won a lot of battles, DJ battles and things like that. Yeah, Kev was nasty. Him, rest in peace, his homie Lightning Rich. He might have spoke about Rich a few times, who was a legendary DJ. But yeah, Cosmic Kev, man. Yeah, the Beanie Siegel joint. That's probably one of the most bought Cosmic Kev mixtapes, bro. Is the Beanie Siegel joint? Yeah. And Kev, actually, he tore up the mixtape market with that too. So, like you said, you was coming to Philly to to get those, and they, his tapes was getting around too, beyond the tri-state. But yeah, man, Cosmic Kev definitely dope.
Hey man, that is real quick, man. We got my brother Brian, the SOG in the building, man. Shout out to you, son of God, man. You know what it is, nothing but love and respect. Welcome to the panel, man. Give me your opening words. Or first question is man, your earliest memories of hip hop, and then the conversation, take it where you want to, my brother.
How y'all doing? First off, I just want to say shalom to my brothers over here on this panel, brother. My first memory of hip hop, bro, was like CFO, Roxanne, all those boys back in those days, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out up there to the boys on the East. You know what I'm saying? That was like my introduction, like, into it and everything, man. I mean, hip hop, bro, it's rich, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard some of the guys speaking, And it definitely was a part of my life. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for it. It gave us some kind of direction. Everything was positive. And another thing about our rappers back in the day, you talking about like Heavy D and the boys and all like that, man. Those boys rapped clean, bro. No cussing. None of those things. You know what I'm saying, man? So that was like a positive thing that we had. I was sorry that was taken away like in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? My 90s rapping, what you call it, man, like Tupac was one of my favorites, man. You know, shout out to Biggie up there. I definitely one more shout out I had to get to my boy Rakim, bro. Man, that guy was special. He was special, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, guy can flow, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was. I think to me, he was one of the first that I heard that flowed differently. You know what I'm saying? From like that, and then LL and all like that came through. The 90s, like I said, was definitely Tupac and all like that. What changed everything, the revenue that changed everything was when NWA, I believe, came out, man, with the gangster rap. That was a whole new twist. You know what I'm saying on things? It took the rap into a new, different direction. You know what I'm saying? From at least the positive thing, you know, from the positive thing. Hey, I want to ask y'all, bro. Do y'all remember? I don't know if any one of y'all remember like the rap back in the days that when you know a lot of our brothers was killing each other and then they came as a group. You know what I'm saying? Y'all made me look back. I was trying to look back and look for those songs, man, where they had Easy and all that on the West Coast rapper. You know what I'm saying?
We're all in the same game.
There you go.
We're all in the same game with the West Coast All Stars. Boogie Down Productions had Self Destruction with
right. There you go.
I like both of them. I like both of the songs.
Exactly. I loved it both of them too, bro. I grew up on both of them. That was a little positive thing. Me growing up as a teenager, you know what I'm saying, through the projects and all that stuff like that. Growing up through that, you know what I'm saying, man. We needed that. You know what I'm saying, for our youth, because like I said, everything was trending in a different direction. You know what I'm saying, and what also was what's called when Pac and Biggie and them both died, bro. It took away our hip hop, I think, from right there. I think our hip hop changed. You know what I'm saying, tremendously, until where we at now. But man, I had to give shout out to, you know what I'm saying, to the old school rap, bro. You know what I'm saying? I still listen to it. I tells my son that, you know what I'm saying, all the time, bro, because you know what they get today, bro, is all it's talking about is killing. Like y'all said, you know what I'm saying, screwing, you know, messing over their own women, you know, demoralizing them and stuff like that, and it's nothing positive. Like I say, man, I would for once like to hear them just talk about anything, you know what I'm saying, coming outside or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or talk about that date, you know what I'm saying, anything positive than what they're doing now, bro. It's really bad on our kids growing up right now, the rap that they have today. And another thing that changed, bro. Back in the days, our brothers, they used to rap to get out the hood. Now it look like all the rappers right now, bro. It's like the gang is in the rap now. Mm-hmm. It's the gangs. You know what I'm saying? It's no more one person getting out there. It's the gangs that's ruling it.
Right.
It's really destroying it. I mean, that's all I can say.
All facts. Yeah. Yep. Great points, man. Great points.
Perfect point. You know, Dub, we came out here, we talked about underrated, and we talked about a lot of artists that a lot of people may have not heard of, but it was one group in my lifetime that's always stuck out to me that I remember the first day I heard it was a Saturday afternoon. I was looking at Pump It Up, because you know you had Rap City. Yeah,
damn, Pump It Up, damn.
But yeah, Pump It Up was hosted by D Barnes. He came on once a week. And I used to watch Saturdays in my area because we didn't have, came on channel 68 in our area because we didn't have cable in our area, like 1990. So I remember one Saturday I was looking at it, and this video came on called about the Lifers Group. Now, Lifers Group was these guys in prison. They were serving life in prison.
Yo, you remember that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not on YouTube, but yeah, they was in Rahway prison. Rahway.
Yeah.
Scared straight. And those guys, man, I like those guys, they can rap. That's the thing about it. They was doing life in prison, they can rap. Yeah, it was great. They went in prison. They filmed the video in prison. You know, so everything it was really authentic. I like it was crazy. I always thought about that album the past 30 plus years, like the Lifers Group album.
Yeah, I remember that. Yup. Damn. Wow. Yeah, that's a throwback. Yeah, everything is done different now, man.
And one more thing, my sister used to rap too, bro, back in the days. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all might know him by JJ Fad.
Oh my God, no way.
Her name is Danielle.
Danielle, your sister?
Yeah,
No
bro,
way.
that's my sister.
Get out of here, man.
No, I'm serious. That's my sister. That's from right there, San Bernardino, California, bro. My brother Terry and them and everybody like that, man. I remember when they first rolled up into the Calio projects, man. I'm telling you, it was in that stretch limo, bro. It made everybody knew then. You know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, you know, he got somebody who really, you know. I mean, the project thought it like we were celebrities, bro. It was crazy. It was crazy back then.
Wow, that's what's up.
So you met Arabian Prince.
Who?
Arabian Prince.
Well, who's that? I'm saying,
Oh,
who's
he was
that?
one of the guys in NWA, one of the producers in NWA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know about all that, man. But I know my sister gave us a scoop, man. That's why I ended up liking the West Coast music, bro. I kind of like, you know, it was a different little the way the East Coast and West Coast did it was kind of different, brother. Everybody had their little funk and everything, you know. And I mean, hey, bro, I miss those days, bro. I really do miss those days. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was really like kind of like innocent. You know what I'm saying? And people were striving to be, you know, just to do good. You know what I'm saying, brother? Just to do good, bro. But yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. This is the time we're in. I mean, I'm hoping that we can fix this. You know what I'm saying? So we can save that. You know what I'm saying? The last two people, at least the two people I know in this era that's rapping that's close to where my era of that we grew up in the 80s and 90s and all like that is J. Cole, which I want to give a shout out to, and then what's his name? The other dude from California, man. Can't think of his name right now, man.
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah, bro. I mean, shout out to those dudes, bro. You know what I'm saying, man? I mean, hey, they flow just like how we flow and everything. And I mean, hey, much love. You know what I'm saying? I'll listen to them too, bro.
It's a speaking of that, it's a group, a little collabo group of some guys, some young guys. And I ran into these guys on YouTube. And these young brothers are representing throwback hip hop and MCing. They call Coast Contra. They're from different. One of the guys is from Philly, Eric Jamal. It's a set of twin brothers. It's like about 6 or 7 of these guys. They call Coast Contra. Punch them up on YouTube, and I guarantee y'all punching the name Coast Contra. If you haven't heard of them, y'all gonna be like, crush, yeah, these guys. When I thought that, you know, real MCing was dead, I ran into these guys on YouTube, man, and they amazing. Coast Contra, man. I just
feel it, man. As soon as I typed in Coast, that popped up, man. Coast Contra, freestyle.
Yeah, they nasty, man. Oh my God, they nasty, bro. I'm like,
yeah, J. Cole different with it though.
Yeah, I like J. Cole.
That nigga nasty with it. He can rap on whatever he want. It don't matter what.
Mm-hmm. J. Cole.
J. Cole. He cold, bro. That boy cold, man.
Yeah, J. Cole probably the most talented and most skilled cat out of his era. He's something else, man. These youngins ain't fucking with him, man. Forget about it. He's nasty, man. He nasty.
Hey, bro, I want to ask y'all something, bro. Now, you know, now they talking about the way the rappers are going through now today, bro. It's a shame that I don't know if this happened back in our days. You know what I'm saying, the 80s and 90s, but now the way the rappers go, when they go to state and all like that, they gotta pay to have protection and all that stuff.
Oh, they gotta check in?
Yeah, bro. I don't understand that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro?
it was never like that in our day, man. Like when the
Crazy,
rappers
bro.
came to town, we just
never.
wanted to meet the rappers, take pictures. Like when Biggie came here in January '96. My boy, I didn't go to the concert. He was killed a year later, but I didn't go to the concert. My boy went, got pictures, and Biggie, he was rolling around the city with no security. We like I said, we don't do that stuff here in North Carolina. I don't know about now, but we didn't do that. The rappers would come here, Biz come here, all these guys. We just wanted to meet the guys, dap them. My cousin, my third cousin is Wise Intelligent from Partridge Teachers. And he came here summer of
shit.
90, yeah, that's my cousin. He came here summer '91, did a concert. No security, just rolling free through the city because his family's here. But like I say, all this checking in and guys getting robbed, man, we don't do that here. I can't speak for everybody else's city, but that's crazy, man. That's wild, man. You don't do that to people, man.
Hey, man. Speaking of poor righteous teachers, I used to dance with 3 Times Dope. EST and Wise Intelligent, man, they close, man. They had a nice friendship coming up, man. Yeah.
And the thing, when I was in Philly back, I think this was 2010. I had a show there, and I had a show with the journalist. He came up in.
Wait! Slow down, bro. Did you just say who?
The journalist.
Man, I know him. Man, listen. Next time you talk to Germ is listen, y'all. Man, all positive. We gonna have to do another joint, man. This guy journalist that we talking about, right, y'all?
He used to run with cannabis.
Yeah, this dude is definitely an undug up gem in Philly, man. This dude. He's like a combination of fabulous. He got a little fab in him, but hell of a writer. Can spit too. Yeah, I know Germ. Man. Germ used to be a part of a group called the Colony Clique. And they were from down 7th Street area. One of the guys in the group is actually first cousins with Tariq from the Roots. Yeah, I know Germ. Man, you ever run into Jern and you still got his neck? He asked him, do you know Crush? And he was like, yeah, I know who OG Crush is. Yeah, I know Jern.
And the night I was there at that,
that's my man.
At that show that night, it was Jern because he was performing with Bougie. It was a group called Bougie. It was a band, a hip hop band.
Okay, yeah.
And,
right.
And the man's told me from the band, he's like, yo, and this one I discovered, I didn't even know it. He's like, EST wrote Baby Boy for Beyonce. I'm like, nah, I went back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he wrote Baby Boy. I'm like, yo, my man EST getting them that Beyonce publishing.
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
Baby Boy, and he did another song on that album too. He co-wrote it.
The Scott Storch
produced
it. He co-wrote the joint. I didn't know EST was writing joints, getting publishing like that.
Man, shit, ES wrote for Brian McKnight. He wrote for a few cats fucking with Scott Storch, man. Oh man, yeah, bro. We gonna have to do a whole nother joint politics. We got some shit to build on, bro. You know a lot of folk that I know.
Because my Baby Black producer, I know Baby Black from Philly. Their producer was there that night. He the one told me that. I had to
Hey, Doug. Can I ask you a question, Doug?
Yes, sir. What up?
Something about the underrated. You said underrated. Who was the underrated rapper, man? My underrated rapper, bro. For me, since I'm from New Orleans, bro, it has to go to the late. You know what I'm saying? Soulja Slim, aka Magnolia Slim, aka the New Orleans Tupac. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
that's
damn.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, down
Soulja
there,
Slim.
man, Soulja Slim was it to us, bro. Right there before he was taken away. You know what I'm saying? The guy was about to make some new moves. Him and BG and them, they was about to hook up, man. It was about to be a slaughter, bro. And then, you know what I'm saying? They took the guy away right when he was, at his best, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll give my shout out to my boy Magnolia Slim, man.
Since we talking about that state, shout out to another underrated young dog, my nigga Currency. God damn it, boy, Currency is that nigga. he slept on, but he quietly making a whole bunch of money. Quietly.
That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about quietly making millions. Ain't saying nothing, laughing. He's like, he did an interview. He's like, I'm your regular guy. The only difference is I'm gonna pull up to Walmart in a Rolls Royce. You know. I was like, God damn. He's like, that's the only difference. Other than that, I'm a normal dude. But
Dang.
See,
I ain't gonna hold
he
when you
brought up
talk
that.
about, when you talk about when you talk about New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? I'm a huge Juvenile fan, and so I show much love toward Juvie. When you talk about the state now, I gotta ask, and I know New Orleans and Baton Rouge, two totally different places. But man, what's y'all thoughts on Boosie, man? As far as being a rapper,
Boosie badass.
yeah.
Man, that dude right there, bro, is a damn OG, bro. That's the dude who know how to keep the damn G code. You know what I'm saying? That's yeah. I mean, hey, man, that man, he's real, bro. Everything he rapped about, bro, is real. You know what I'm saying? Him, I mean, if it was me and I was in the streets like that, and what you call it, he would be one of the persons that, hey, I wouldn't mind having as one of my people, because I know one thing. If anything go wrong, the man gonna take, you know what I'm saying? He gonna take his lick if he have to. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Boosie is man, he's something, bro, and he's still doing it. He's still doing it, bro. That's always since way Tupac days and stuff, bro. This dude's still doing it right now, man. That's going to show you how he's a hustler, how he got that hustler mentality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I mean, he's like I said, you know, still to this day, bro. You know what I'm saying? They try to shut the dude down, and he's still making it, bro. They go to show you, man. Hey, bro, I'll give a shout out to Louisiana, bro. That BR too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he an OG.
Let me tell y'all a story right quick, bro. I'm gonna make it quick though, bro. I don't know if y'all knew, like back in the days, New Orleans, when we had Master P and them came out there with No Limit and all like that, and then Cash Money came into the mix, man. That was a battle right there, bro, between who's be the ones who take it over. Master P, what happened with Master P, how he slipped a little bit from Cash Money is because he went out to California and he basically adopted some of this stuff and forgot how New Orleans was, you know what I'm saying, how we roll down here with the bounce rap and everything that we used to have. But then Cash Money came out with it, man, and blew it out the water, you know what I'm saying? So at one time, they was beefing, you know what I'm saying? We wanted to see them collaborate, but P didn't want to do that, I guess, because they was too ghetto-like. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. And then I remember one time, bro, they had an after party one time when I remembered C Murder, bro. C Murder went to this club, man, where Juvenile was at. And Juvenile must say something, what you call it, C Murder slapped him, bro. And it was a big thing.
What?
Man, C Murder's a beast, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's one dude I know, bro, that was a rapper that didn't walk with no fucking security, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then not just that, but he was welcome in the hood. You know what I'm saying? The guy can walk through the hood, dude, without nobody, you know, messing with him and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but C Murder was a beast, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we thought that Juvenile would do something, but man, look, man, them boys was deep out there. Master P, bro. They was deep out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But Cash Money, look like to me, they took it to a whole new level. You know what I'm saying? With the Hot Boys and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? They blew it out the water, bro, with BG and them and all that, man. I remember, man, they made it hot down there. We came out with a new style, you know, where we was blinging and stunting and you know what I'm saying? We came out really with that stunting music. So, you know what I'm saying? That was something different, man. That gave our flavor for New Orleans people down there, bro.
No, I agree with it, man. It's always been a different vibe coming from New Orleans, man. There's always been a different vibe coming out of there. And real quick, man, we getting ready to wrap the show. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everybody last words. I appreciate everybody coming through, showing love like y'all did tonight, man. Hell of a topic, great show. And man, OG son of God, man. Brian, give me your last words. You know, you got a place over here, brother. Nothing but love and respect to you. Appreciate you coming through, kicking it with us for a minute, man. Give me your last words, bro. You're on mute. You're on mute, son of God.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, bro. Man, I just hope hip hop stays in our heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hope that one day it does come back to where we can collab with the youth of today. You know what I'm saying? So we can spin a different light on our kids and all like that, man. Once again, bro, I'm glad, man, you you know, accept me to come on your show, brother. I appreciate it, the right side, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know, hey, man, I love you, bro. Y'all take care, man. It was a great topic today, bro.
Facts, man. You know it ain't nothing but love and respect, and you're always welcome over here, man. You're always welcome. All positive, man. Once again, I gotta give you credit where your credit is due. You said, damn it, we need to have this type of show, and I think it was a hell of a show tonight, man. All positive. Thank you for how I want to put it. Thank you for for giving me the idea to do something like this, and man, everybody who came through, showed up and showed out, man. Give me your last words. You know, it's nothing but love and respect for me, and yeah, give me your last words, positive.
Last words, man. Appreciate you having me up here, man. You know, I love my favorite things in life: boxing, hip hop, basketball, horror films, and Black history. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm into, man. And I love just spreading the hip hop knowledge to a lot of guys younger than us. And I learned things too. I mean, because guys here older than me. I don't know everything, so I learned some things too tonight. So, and that's all a good thing, man. We learn and we give knowledge, and that's what life is about, man. Living and learning and giving knowledge. And also the Crush, man, you messed me up with that Coach Contra, because I pulled it up and I was mute. I was listening to him, man. These boys is wild, man. I like these guys.
Yeah, we do.
Yo, I love these dudes. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Peace to Christ, Dove, Brian, son of God. Peace, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Peace out, bro. We'll get at it again, man. We'll definitely get at it again.
All right, man.
Crush, same thing. OG, man, appreciate you coming through, showing up and showing out. Give me your last words. You know it ain't nothing but love and respect.
Hey, man, once again, it's always dope rocking with the dope side, man. Yo, Dub, man, you keep doing your thing, man. You know, you the dope side. So when you on the right side, you're on the dope side. You know what I mean? So shout out to my man, Dub Right Side, coming with another good show, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I love being here, and I can't wait to be back again to talk about the favorite thing you love to talk about is boxing. Can't wait to be on the next live or to check it out if I won't be in the panel, because it's always dope, man. So I'm always honored being over here with the big young homie. So I'm out of here like a breeze through the trees, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Crush. Man, I appreciate everybody who came in tonight, showed up and showed out. We had a great show. Hip hop, man. 80s, 90s hip hop culture. And we talked about a lot of stuff, a lot of different topics. Great minds on the panel. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody, man. Y'all know when y'all coming over here, man, y'all rocking with the right side, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Take it easy.
You can't fight the power of Gervonta Tank Davis. What a scintillating display. Well, you question Deontay Wilder's power. The proof is in the banana pudding as he just turned the lights out.
Cool boy, Stephen Fulton Jr.
The Ennis Express is a runaway train.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada,